can't explain it, the way she gets into the zone. But when she's got that look, it's the one and only way to go.
Inside Stone's Gambling Hall in Sacramento, California, you'll find Sammy's Restaurant and Bar. Recognized for its innovative, healthy global cuisine, Sammy's offers menu selections made with local, organic ingredients. Indulgent options like truffle fries, duck tacos, artisan wood-fired pizzas, fresh salads, and more, along with an eclectic selection of craft beers and classic handcrafted cocktails. Plus, with 40 big screen TVs, Sammy's is also the perfect place to catch your favorite game. Satisfy your craving anytime, 24/7, tableside or in the dining room at Sammy's Restaurant and Bar at Stone's Gambling Hall.
Whoa! Ladies and gentlemen, Stone's Live Poker. I'm your host, Jake Rosenstiel, here with Brent
Hello,
Harrington.
Jake.
What's up, brother man?
Long time no see.
Long time. You're bringing the beard out for winter a little bit.
I'm trying.
Just a little bit.
Trying
I like
to do
it.
my best Jake impression.
Can't.
Is that working?
no,
It's weird.
It's working for me.
Yeah.
That's all that
wow,
matters.
thank you.
5-5 PLO8. Pot
I'm excited.
Limited, 8 or better. I was gonna say unlimited. Pot limited.
One of my favorite games, or close to. Yeah.
Probably my personal favorite.
Yeah.
I say it every time, but I'll say it again. And this time, we did get Ryan Leonis in the game. He came all the way out of the Bay last time to play.
All the way out of the Bay.
All the way out of the Bay to play the game.
It. We're gonna try to rhyme as much as possible tonight too.
Because we're hip. We're cool.
Yeah.
We're the coolest white guys you're ever gonna meet. Right?
Yes.
Eminem's pretty cool these days. I hear it. Right? It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait. So yeah, Ryan Leonis is in the game. I'm stoked.
Holler.
Holler. Yeah, Hollywood.
See if he does. Oh, Hollywood, a staple.
Staple.
You know what? I like Hollywood a lot, and I hope he doesn't take this. I feel like sometimes Hollywood just buys in for a lot of chips and then just like hangs out at the table.
He's a piece of the furniture. He's the
Yeah,
best.
he's just like, hey guys, what's up? I mean, he is a staple. Like,
Yeah.
it's just so funny because he always has like a huge stack.
Stacks.
Right, and then just is like doesn't appear to play too many hands. Which,
But-
you know, whatever. Tight is good for some people.
Tight is right, and in PLOA, it's hard to get. In a game that can be like really, really volatile, tight is right, and
Yeah.
a lot of PLOA. That said, I hope that players get a little more aggressive than.
Yeah, the
they
last time
like
we
to
did
be.
this, it
Yeah.
wasn't as exciting as we both hoped it would be.
See, every hand looks like a 3-better fold hand to me, and I tend to.
There was
keep
like a
it
lot
more-
of limping, I thought. Am I remembering? Yeah, no limping.
There's some decent strategy in limping and PLOA, but I mean I get it. But at the same time, we're on the stream. It's supposed to be entertaining. Let's have some fun. Let's get down to the table
Yes. Where we
and
at?
see
Who
what's
we
going
got?
on.
Who we got?
In seat 1, Matt H.
Matt tat.
Yeah, the Matt plays all the stakes,
Another staple.
all the games. Another staple
He likes
of
to
the
mix
room.
it up, though.
Yes, he does.
I think we'll.
Matt can make some moves, and
Exciting.
I like watching Matt play poker. In seat 2, Jeff S. Jeff Sardell, Big Jeff.
That's like Jeff's seat, by the way.
it is-
Every time.
It is
That
Jeff's
is his seat.
And if we're playing, I mean, Jeff plays his fair share of Hold'em as well, but I think Jeff kind of has a.
Can we
a thing
monogram
for the,
that chair for Jeff?
Yeah, I think
Justin,
so.
can we get on that? Because Jeff that's his seat.
We mentioned him before, and there he is, all hooded up, poker pro-ish looking. Ryan Leonis. Oh, he's cool. He's wearing the reg patch. Gotta dig that.
What a neat picture.
Ryan Leonis in seat 3, all the way from the Bay, came here to wreck players. He's got position on Matt and Jeff. That's good for him. Player who can get pretty aggressive to his left. Brendan. Brendan plays a lot of PLO,
Brendan.
a lot of 08. This is the happy medium between both those games, and Brendan's all about it. Brendan's one of the people I have on the list for the drama hog games. I'm trying to get those going.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
When's that happen?
Can't tell you, Brendan.
Oh,
It's top
dang.
secret. Glenn. My first time seeing Glenn on the stream.
Wow.
Welcome, Glenn.
Hi, Glenn.
Gonna see how he grinds
I'm
it out here in
excited
the
just
PLO8.
based off of Glenn's shirt. I like that
Glenn
he
is
brought
already
out
winning
the
the shirt
A game.
play
Yeah,
contest. Scott in seat 6. I know Scott from playing mostly cash games, a little bit of smaller stakes tournament stuff. I've never seen him play 4-card poker. I'm really, really excited to see
I
what's
think
gonna
I've done the
Scott's
stream
gonna
at
do.
least one other time with Scott on there, but yeah.
I'm usually drinking. What can I
Yeah.
say?
Like who?
We mentioned
who
it before.
pays
The one, the only.
Hollywood.
Hollywood. Something very interesting happened to his left in his profile picture there. Hollywood's sitting on a decent sized stack. We'll see if he just starts stack matching later
Again?
on.
Yeah.
Again.
Let's
And
get him in there.
Sally. She hasn't met
Sally.
Harry, but she's in seat 8, rounding out. We're all playing 8-handed, 5-5, pot limit, 8 or better. Shout out to all our regs in the chat. Rick and Barstow. What is going on? Welcome to stream.
Yeah, the other thing to note too is that this is 8-handed. You said that though, right?
It is
It's a
8-handed.
special note that it's 8-handed Omaha, so I think that should theoretically increase the action a little bit.
8-handed poker's just better.
Yes, that's why I like stud.
Hold'ems, PLO, PLO8, all the games across the 8-handed. I think it's just like the happy balance. I mean, 6-max can be, like crack for us, like, action junkies.
Right.
But, and then, if we don't want to not sit here trying to knit it and quit it, then, 10 or 9-handed can be a bit much. 8-handed, I think, is that happy balance where you can, and you have to play a few more hands, but it's not like, on like full, kill like a 6-max game would be.
Well, PLO8 too, and one of those things like last time we were doing this, there was a lot of limping. Not the same lineup, obviously, but that is a strategy like big hands or like basically 100% of your range, you're limping under the gun or from early position. And then I think, I think if anybody's gonna get nuts a little bit, it'd probably be Ryan because I imagine he's played more of this or a decent amount more of this than maybe some of the guys at the table. Although
Probably,
this
yeah.
is a pretty. Like, I know Matt plays all the games, or,
This is a specialist game. Like, I mean, most people, we know everyone plays No Limit Hold'em. People then naturally tend to cross over. The first game they cross over to is PLO.
Yeah.
Or they go the other way, or they come from 08. And this game just somehow, gets sometimes lost in the mix. And it is kind of a specialist game. It's very different than, I mean, even though the rules are the same, it's different than 08.
Right.
As far as even strategy-wise, just because of, the bet sizing. Certain hands are right to continue with, other hands aren't. Brendan's going to limp in the ace-7-5-5. Scott's going to open the pot to 15.
And then Hollywood folded Queen, 3, 4, which I think is fine because you did not. First
Yeah,
of
that's
all,
correct.
even if you have a suited queen,
Yeah.
you're always going to be the second best flush, right? Oh, this could. When you have ace queen 3 deuce, I think the flop you want to see is ace jack 6 rainbow.
Pretty good.
We're pretty close to that flop. Especially when you don't have the suited ace, but obviously that hand's playable.
And you see the percentage there. We have high and low percentages to the right of the player's stacks. You see Jeff there. Jeff with ace-queen 3 deuce is 36% to win the high, 53% to win the low. And looks like he's
Let
gonna
Scott
make a bet
bet
here.
first. Now, see, I don't really love the bet. He's got a pair of jacks, right? No draws. I guess he's banking on the fact that maybe they paired their ace, but if they paired their ace, they're still better than him.
Yeah, mine's
Is
a
that-
little optimistic there from Scott. Turns a deuce. Jeff makes 2 pair.
Oh, wow.
And wow, and Scott trips on the jacks.
Yeah, tripped
No
it.
qualifying low
The
for
biggest
Jeff.
accident of all time. Yeah.
And Scott's gonna scoop this pot with trip jacks.
I don't think he's going to get any pay from anyone. And I think, did they check $50 again? I think Jeff can fold this pretty well. I don't know. I guess if you're assuming people are playing high only hands or high low hands, then ace queen with the jacks is not terrible.
It's not
It's
the
not
worst.
a bad bluff catcher kind of situation. I don't know
Well,
if you can beat it.
we're never obviously we have no low, so we're only like bluff catching to half the pot for high. I think we can get away there.
Oh, that's true. There is a potential low. He doesn't have a low. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Good point. Good point. I don't love Scott's bet on the flop, but it worked out.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. Frenchie 78. It's a boat. We have the jack 6. What do you have?
No, he does have a jack 6. He had 2 pair. Okay, so I take it back. 2 pair, fine. I can see that being a bet.
Guys, it's our first hand of the stream. We're just waking up
No,
here.
yeah, good call.
The
I was like,
coffee hasn't quite kicked in. Cheers.
It did seem a bit strange. Cheers. It did seem a bit strange that you would bet. If you have only a jack there, I think that's a terrible bet. I mean, a terrible time to bet, I guess. Maybe terrible isn't the right word, just not a preferred.
Yes.
thing. But 2
Optimistic.
pair, you know what? That's one thing I always think about too with this. On those rainbow flops, if somebody's like super aggressive, to me that always smells like 2 pair.
Yeah.
So as someone who had a hand like ace, queen, 3 deuce, you got the nut low draw.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and as much as you love to see that flop with that hand, you hate to see that turn.
Yeah, it's a really bad
It's like
turn
the
for Ryan.
worst turn. Unbelievable.
MGX Web, what is going on? Welcome to the stream.
Yeah, what's
Vocal
up,
Terror.
It's a boat.
It's a boat.
Every time we
first
see a
hand.
boat, can we just make the noise? Like a tugboat coming through. That's I'm gonna do that. That's gonna get really annoying.
There was no boat, just the trip jack. Did he have
No, he had Jack 6. He had Jack 9 9 6.
6? Yeah, it's
Double
Jack
suited.
6.
Yeah, and there was
All right, Jack
yeah.
6 for the boat. Scott's gonna open the potty again, and Jeff defends the small
Oh,
blind.
mystery hand. This hits Scott's range, or at least what we know of it so far.
Yeah, so far if Scott's want to play Jack 996, this is gonna be more Scott than it is gonna be Jeff.
So I think there's been no action on this flop yet.
Oh.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, if you're gonna
Of course, as soon as I say that, that misses Jeff. Jeff flops middle set.
smashes Jeff's.
Check-
I guess
check
he
the flops
decided
and deuce.
9s are good. Well, I mean, whatever. This is Jack Jack or 993 is pretty much only really good on this flop, and it's not even really good on this flop.
Jeff leads 40 on the turn. There is a low draw, there is a hard draw. Possible straight already there.
So what do you think? What do you need to call 35 here if you're Scott? Let's see. A low draw, maybe
Low, we were
Like a
thinking
decent low draw and a
low draw
pair?
with a pair.
minimum.
Yeah, we need some oopsie high outs there. Just on the low suicide.
I think he folded. Or yeah. So okay. So far, the high hands are having it. The
Yeah.
high only hands are holding. I guess that's not a high only hand technically. 9983 does have a possible low.
Yeah, the emergency low is real. Poker boss.
Yeah, pre-flop raise not available for this game. That's funny. Oh, you're saying that?
Sean
I thought you
McCormick.
meant somebody actually pre-flop raising, but you're talking about the percentage. I think the bot is talking about. That's funny. Yeah, it was actually almost shaved the beard. I don't know.
Don't do it, bro.
We're checking.
It's not good for you.
You know, my problem is I see all these people with beards that are better than mine, and I'm like, I can't do that.
But you don't know that you can't do that until you try to do that. I thought the same thing.
Fair enough.
I'm like, I don't know that I can pull that off. And then
And then bam.
one
And then-
morning,
and then
one morning I woke up,
Exhibit A.
and then Majesty. Glenn's gonna limp in the 5, 6, 7, 8 double suited. Beautiful hand, better for PLO
Yeah,
high
it
than
looks
high
pretty,
low.
but ugh.
We'd much rather have that hand in high low, or I'm sorry, in high only. Couple callers, and Ryan picks up the ace 10 3 4. Is gonna put in the 3-bet out of the small blind at 55.
It's a pretty aggressive line with that.
Well, just look at Scott. Scott's opened up every hand we've played so far. So
right.
you figure Scott
And
can
you
be
guys
really,
have
really
seen
wide here.
people too.
And Scott's got king, queen, queen 4 with one suit. The flop comes ace 10 9, 2 pair for Ryan with a 3 4 low draw. No, backward 3 4 low draw.
Yeah. I still think Ryan, if he had only one player, I think he leads his flop. Against two, I think he checks, but I also think maybe
I just don't think that players are just going to get checked through so often.
wow.
I think we just come out.
bets the pot.
We come out and lead. I like it. I like the bet. On ace
he
10
might
9.
get some action here. I don't know. Maybe not.
And we don't want to see any. He doesn't want to see any Broadway cards on the turn. Any low card that's not a 3 or 4 is a great card for him as well. You can also
Right.
pick up backdoor hearts.
Scott, if he calls this bet, it's like, what do you want to see on the turn? A jack? Only a jack?
Yeah.
And you want to see a jack that's like not a suit that already exists on the board, right? So we want the jack of diamonds specifically.
Yeah, specifically. Angry Pollock.
Hello. She makes excellent meatballs,
Yes, she does.
which I didn't know that breadcrumbs or breading is part
Yeah,
of meatballs.
standard meatball
Until that
ingredient.
day, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Thank you for opening my eyes
Yes.
to,
Veronica Rowe.
to the meatballs.
Yeah. She's the best.
Scott opens wide and high. Yeah, I mean, in a cash game too, I think, like, sure, those hands are good. I think the key is You gotta. Well, I mean, it's your money. First of all, do whatever you want with it. The second key is
if you're good at hand reading, if you're good at reading your opponents, you can open pretty wide, and as long as you can, and especially if you're opening really wide, you can rep like every board. You know,
True,
so
right.
as long as you can like read and hey, which way is our opponent going? High? Is he going low? And you can rep a lot of stuff out there because everyone knows that you're playing so wide. And you can put people in really, really uncomfortable positions. You just gotta have the stones to do it. And here goes Scott again. Jack, Jack, 3 deuce. This is a semi-playable hand here. You got the 3 deuce, got the suited Jack, pocket jacks. Matt picking up ace, ace, Jack deuce. We'd expect Matt to put in a 3-bet here.
I don't think Matt's ever gonna call in this spot in position with a good hand. Yeah. I mean, the only bad part about his hand is he doesn't have a suited ace. But that's it. And I suppose it could be ace ace king instead of ace ace jack, but
We'll take what we can
yeah,
get.
in this specific situation, having the jack is actually better because he's blocking one
Yeah.
of Scott's set outs. He doesn't know that obviously, but
Scott's gonna make the call. We're gonna go heads up here.
yeah. What was that? The other hand looked like it might be playable. I guess against a 3-bet, in between somebody who opened and a 3-bet, it's probably not good, but.
5-9-7, Matt's aces hold, and he picks up the nut low draw. Scott's got the 3rd nut low draw.
This is a flop that I think Matt's gonna get called on. I really like if it goes check and Matt makes it 90 or something. I don't know. Like, oh, he made it 80.
If a 6, 8, or a 10 comes off, Scott might get a bit spry and actually might be able to push Matt off the pot. Well, no, the problem is if a 6 or an 8 comes off, then Matt's gonna have the nut low and he's not folding.
Right,
so
exactly.
a 10 might be the only like bluff card Scott could get aggro with.
It's gonna get pretty dangerous if Scott calls this bet. If he calls this bet, he might raise. I doubt he'll raise this. Yeah. I think like where do you go from there?
Yeah, Scott gets away. So Scott's playing a lot of hands pre, but you notice he's yet to get out of line like
Right,
post.
yeah.
He hasn't. So I mean, that's something like maybe Scott's thinking, hey, I'm very very comfortable, with my opponents. And I'm gonna play a lot of hands, and maybe find some awkward, made hand that no one's expecting, like a Jack 6.
Yeah.
And
yeah, exactly.
maybe
And
catch
nobody
someone
saw that
getting
yet,
curious.
right? They didn't see the jack.
haven't
Oh
seen
no,
that.
he did. He did call. He called, I think.
Did Jeff call it?
I think he did.
I don't remember. It was the first
Yeah,
time.
I know.
We were still waking up.
We're still warming up. We're getting the snow off of the car.
So
I guess.
the Las Vegas Golden Knights, the hockey team.
Oh my gosh!
I'm so excited.
Whoa,
I
my
want to do
gosh.
some live hockey. In
Did you
Vegas.
watch at any of the game?
I haven't yet. But I'm.
Wait, did you know the score? Okay, so in the first 2 minutes of the first home game, they scored 3 goals.
Shut up.
They won 5-2. In 2 minutes, they scored 3 goals. The
I know.
place was like literally on fire. Okay,
That's-
not literally on
that's
fire.
great.
On about as fire as you can get without actually being on fire. It was insane.
See, I mean,
It would have been so nuts to be there.
live hockey is the nuts. For those of you who know.
Oh yeah,
live-
it's a great sport. It's really one of the best sports to watch. Period. I think.
Yeah.
It's action, but live, it's excellent
So
too.
now we can make these like poker/hockey trips to Vegas.
Yeah.
I'm super
for
stoked.
sure. I was born in Vegas. Having a professional sports team in Vegas is like
This is the nuts.
something I literally never thought. Now I could say literally here.
Yeah.
I literally never thought this was going to be a thing.
So if I'm not mistaken, Ryan
where's your
opens up the cutoff. Brendan, Glenn, and Scott call. Ryan's got Ace King 9-9, flops a nut flush draw. Glenn's got the best low draw with the Ace 4. Also has an inside straight draw and a pair.
I don't know who's going to give Ryan too much action here. To be
Glenn
honest.
can call. Glenn's got a back. Glenn's got a low. Got an inside straight draw. Got a pair. Glenn can make a call here. He's not.
I don't know.
He's gonna get
you
away.
really want to call with that? I mean, okay, like again, I don't know.
Can call. Will call. Different thing.
True. I mean, everybody can call, and then Scott. Well,
And
okay,
Scott can call.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of turn cards he likes,
Like a
heart.
Go Scott.
Although, yeah, exactly. Although this is an interesting thing too.
Scott needed the Jack of Hearts to come off to just give him the whole world.
Oh, jeez, yeah. Because now, well, actually, he doesn't know it, but Ryan has no hope for the low, and currently has the high just because he's a pair of 9s.
This is a good bet by Ryan here. A lot of the hands that Scott's gonna be check calling here are gonna be like Ace Deuce, and things like that. And so when the deuce pairs, and then when the deuce comes on the turn, it's going to counterfeit his low draw a lot. And so Ryan can just continue to put the pedal down here, and you're gonna fold out a lot of those. I mean, ace deuce 3, obviously we're never folding it now. The guy turns the nut low.
True.
But all the ace deuce, and like someone's coming around with like deuce 3, like 5-7 or some weird hand like that, we can fold out those as well.
Yeah. And so you're right. Scott is keeping it cheap.
Yeah,
For a guy who's seeing a lot of hands, he is keeping it cheap. I think the problem comes in if you're gonna play Jack, 3 deuce. If you call a big flop bet with like the third nut low, then that's when you start to get in trouble.
Yeah.
Because then you're basically saying I'm only calling with the low and hoping my low is good enough. And then that's only the first of however 3 potential bets you're gonna face. So I don't think not too bad. And I do agree. Like Ryan had the ace that would call him, right? Like if he has the nut club draw, so no one else can have like a combo of like ace 4, ace 3 with the nut club.
With the nut club draw.
So yeah, it's a decent bet. He had the best hand at that moment, but on that board, you never really feel great with
the deuce is
flush draw and a pair of nines.
The deuce is a good card to double keep barreling there. An ace would have been better. Obviously, we're not just going to make a pair, but then the ace 3 and ace deuce draws get counterfeited.
Rick and Barstow trying to hit up Sean for the Golden Knights tickets. Hey, same deal.
Right.
Like Jake and I will come. We'll play some PLO at the Aria. We'll high five Sean, and then we'll all go to the game together. That sounds like a good plan.
I'm all about it. Brennan's going to open up for a pot-sized bet with the ace queen 7-3 with a pocket flush. Too many spades in his hand, but what are we going to do? He's got an ace 3. He's got the ace queen. The 7's kind of there in case we accidentally get counterfeited and something goes to showdown in the wrong way.
I suppose you can play it and then just say, okay, I'm not really going to ever draw to the flush. Because I mean, in itself, ace queen 7-3 is not a terrible hand.
Scott and Hollywood make the call. Flop is 9-8-5, couple of diamonds.
Wow, I'm like, whose hand do you want here? I guess ace 3-7.
Yeah, Brennan's got the second nut low draw. Now turns the nut low.
Perfect river card for him.
No one's got a really strong high here. Hollywood's way out in front where there's just a pair of queens for the high. But on that board, we're not really getting married to anything out there. I mean, I would expect Hollywood to fold. I mean, I can see his cards. We know he's got the best, the only real high hand here. But if we're running down people with pocket queens on 9-5-8 deuce, we are just going to be spewing money.
Yeah, and it's so weird too because it's like it's a spot where we've said Hollywood plays tight. So why? Okay, yeah, I was gonna say the $1 on top of the cards. It's like the full, but yeah, why would you choose that moment to suddenly not be tight, right?
Yeah.
Where you're only ever playing for half or hoping, maybe. Yeah. So obviously didn't. But,
Poker Boss says he can get tickets from Negreanu. Bring Negreanu. Bring Daniel. Daniel's a good kid. Loves hockey and wacky Canadians. They know how to have a good time.
Yeah. Let's see. I tried to see if I could get in on that. I actually, for some reason, I thought the home opener was on the 16th of October. For like 3 months, I thought it was the 16th, and I thought I wasn't going to be able to make it.
Huh.
So if I had realized it was on the 10th, I would have been there.
Damn it.
Yeah. But, I mean, hopefully this is not a... I personally, for a while, have thought that was only going to last about 3 years. But that's the disenfranchised Vegas-born person who's never seen any sport even begin to come there. But with the Raiders and the Golden Knights and everything,
yeah, everyone's there in the Raiders.
maybe
now.
Baseball will be there next. I mean,
I'm all for
at a
it.
certain point, it might not be great. I think football actually will work out pretty well because everybody wants to go weekends in Vegas. Right?
Absolutely. Matt is increasing the sriracha content of his salad. I like it. It's a good move. It's a good move. I mean, you ordered a salad, but you're going to add the sriracha to it, so it's good balance, good balance.
Does he like his 7-block rate? That's funny, MGX. I mean, that is true. Like,
We have pocket sevens. It's an option, but even then.
yeah, I actually... Sometimes you can get away with those.
There we go. Hollywood's got a real hand here in the small blind. Ace, 4-3 deuce.
And he...
There was a couple limpers. He opens up for pot, I believe. Brendan, makes it 25 to go. Brendan comes along. And as does Scott. Queen 7-3. Hollywood's got the wrap on the low draw. No spades in his hand. We can't see Scott's hand as of now.
Hollywood.
There we go. Scott's got the queen 10-5 deuce. Scott hits his queen. Hollywood bets 30. Here where we have the nut low draw, or the nut low wrap, and no, I mean we have a pair of threes.
With Hollywood, I think is trying to help him get the card reader to read his hand.
Yeah.
But in the middle of a hand where your head's up and you reach over and grab your opponent's cards.
I think Hollywood could.
He thinks it's Ray in the box is like, whoa, whoa, whoa,
bro.
Pump the brakes.
If I was Hollywood, I would have bet bigger. So we have a pair of threes, but really no.
Into 90?
Yeah, we really have. He bets third pot. We're not afraid of a lot of turn cards, of course, with a low wrap, but we don't have a lot of card ways to scoop here.
Yeah, now it gets even harder to bet. Is he going to bet 40? Is he going to go to 20-40?
What's he got going here?
He might not actually.
Scott turns two pair. Now we know he's not folding for sure.
This is a spot where Scott could raise. He can feel reasonably good about having the best high hand unless he's facing like a set, right?
Hollywood turns the low and a better two pair.
Yeah. That's
Hollywood
primo
with the
river.
nut low, the deuce 4 for the low. Miracle card, the ace. We try to do with an ace or a 3 to scoop. Hits the scooper. Pot. There we go. There's the pot size.
I don't think you're ever going to get called here. Oh, 2-5. I guess you have the second nut low and two pair. But, I mean, if you're going to make a habit of calling with the second nut low and two pair in Omaha, it's probably not a good habit to be in. I don't know.
I mean, we lose to ace 3, deuce 4.
Maybe if you, yeah.
And that's like, what are the hands we lose to? If
Oh,
you're
that,
Scott,
okay.
then
So,
they're
yeah,
going to scoop by.
well, you're assuming that you're probably assuming Hollywood has a pair, right? At least an ace, right? Okay. I mean, yeah.
Makes
I
a
guess
call.
you're rarely. I guess you would probably rarely be getting scooped here because somebody could fire that. Like if it wasn't Hollywood, I would say a busted blush draw, like maybe like a messed up low draw. Somebody
Yeah.
could bluff that river real easy.
I think the call's fine. I mean, like, so what hands are we? What hands is Scott getting
This is a
scooped
specific
by?
hand you're getting scooped
Like
by.
ace, queen, deuce 4. We're getting quartered by ace, queen, deuce 5.
I think if
ace
it-
10,
yeah.
deuce 5, those hands like that. I mean, it's hard. I mean, as much as it was, Hollywood had the one specific hand. I mean, or one of those specific hands that does scoop him on that river. But it's really hard for Scott to lose both ways there.
Yeah. I think that's one of those things too where you have two pair and you're like, okay, even if my two pair is not good, my second nut low
One of these ought to be good.
probably good,
Yeah.
right? But that's where you can sometimes get you got scooped. Stop playing garbage.
Rick and Barstow, here's how long he's been a fan. His first live game was at
Yeah,
the
against the
Forum.
Minnesota North Stars.
Kings against the Minnesota North Stars.
That's nice. I remember when Minnesota was Minnesota North Stars and not the Wild.
Not the Wild.
I have been to a hockey game in Minnesota, playoff hockey game. Those are fun. The Wild versus the Canucks. Wow. I think in a game that is like tight like this, a suited ace 5, 7-7.
Ace 5-7-7.
Yeah.
Not from
Maybe
up
under
front.
the
Not
gun-
from
under the
up
gun,
front.
yeah.
No way. I can't. I don't play that from up front.
I guess I just think if the table's used to limping.
If it's really passive and we think we can get a lot of limps through, that's one thing. But Scott's raised every hand so far.
Yeah, true. It's been so you're playing for 15 pretty much every time.
Scott's got a playable hand here. The ace 9-8 deuce double suited. He flops two pair nines and deuces.
Yeah, not the flop he probably envisioned.
No, he doesn't.
when he.
Backdoor nut clubs. Turn 4.
Oh, now a better two pair.
Jeff
Jeff
turns
with the flush?
2-4. I'm sorry, and a flush. Sorry, actually went kind of fast here.
2, 4, 5. Gonna go check. Jeff's gonna scoop.
Jeff's got it both ways.
Wait, ace 8. Never mind.
Ace
Ace 8's actually gonna get it.
Yeah,
done
Scott's
for a
got the
while.
low of the ace 8. Frenchie says you got scooped. Stop playing the garbage. You just have the plan. You gotta give it time. The plan's gonna work out in the long run. We play every single hand, and eventually we stack someone.
Yeah.
You just say
And in
pot
this situation,
until you improve.
you're chopping. So, great job. That's the other thing that's like, while I like this game, I don't know how much fun it is going to be for people who aren't huge fans of PLO8 already, because a lot of times you'll have all this excitement and then they'll just chop.
Yeah, right. I feel
But that's
you.
another reason why maybe when you play hands, you want to play hands with the nuts, right? Like a suited ace, 9-8-4-3 isn't going to be scooping very often, because even if you make a flush and a low, there's going to be better lows and better flushes out there. So. And it's very easy from here to tell people what they should and shouldn't do, right? Yeah, it's easy when it's not my money or. Although 9-8-4-3, I'm pretty sure I fold that.
I forgot to finish logging my session here.
I would be. Oh, that's right. I assume that everybody knows, but we're here. It's Stones. It's I always say Sacramento. There's a lot of stuff out there that says Sacramento.
It's
I
Sacramento.
think the commercial even says Sacramento.
It's Sacramento.
Sammy's commercial.
I mean, when you're like,
technically,
where are we?
Citrus Heights,
like,
technically.
People
But
just gotta give you that weird look, like where?
what?
What
Yeah,
does this
exactly.
say?
Yeah.
It's Sacramento.
So, yeah, hanging out. 5-5 PLO, 8 or better, 8-handed. Correct play, only scooping hands. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things we said, right? Like, if you're going to play a lot of hands, you have to be really tight with your continuation, like continuing on the flop.
Yeah, you gotta be disciplined. You gotta be able to read your punch.
The second nuts, all those kinds of things aren't going to really get it done too often.
You can play a mess of hands if you're good at reading people.
I will say too, I'm not going to complain, because we asked for action and Scott is up in there,
Yeah.
giving us the
You
action
don't complain.
that we
Scott's driving.
asked for.
And he's gonna make a hand in one of these things. He's gonna stack someone, and they're gonna be like, give that whole like, how do you play? These
Especially in
garbage
PLO,
hands like that.
especially in PLO high-low, you can't really range somebody who plays 100% of hands, right? Like, almost every card can hit a hand that they potentially have.
And you can rep every board. It's good. 8-4 deuce, all hearts.
This is so random. It's funny too, because you don't really see what Scott does. So if Scott bets, he didn't, but he might be able to take it down.
Ryan flops a pair and an inside straight rep. Board already is flush though. Turn jack of spades. Top two now for Jeff. Ryan's got the low on lockdown as of now. You can't see Scott's hand though.
Was that
Jeff bets 20.
Did Scott bet? Did Scott bet that though? I think Scott bet.
Scott bet.
And then they both called. And I guess they're gonna hope that Scott checks the river again. Having no idea what Scott has, he could easily have
All of it.
a flush. He checked the flop, he bet the
He's gonna
turn,
flush, he can
and then
ace-
if he
ace three, ace
doesn't check
five.
behind here, okay, he probably doesn't have a flush if he checked behind.
Jeff tables top two for high, or two pair for high, I should say. Ryan is not tabling his hand, so I'm assuming Scott already tabled a better low.
Yeah, it wouldn't be impossible.
Yeah, 6-5 for low is not really something we're writing home about.
Yeah, so we can assume without seeing it that Scott probably had an ace. I mean, he could have ace 6, ace 5, ace 3.
Ace 4.
He could have ace 3. I
ace
feel like
3.
he might bet.
There, ace 5 for low.
okay.
Ace 5 for low for Scott. Jack 8, good for Jeff. Rickenbar's a Yarmir Yager might play King vs. Cowboy. Yarmir Yager, when I was a kid, he was my favorite player in the world. I don't know, I love me some Yarmir Yager.
He still plays too. It's
I
crazy.
know, it's insane, right?
It's funny too, because you think hockey is it's pretty physical sport.
Yeah.
To play into your mid 40s or whatever,
Yeah, it's amazing.
pretty intense. But
I was going to play hockey professionally into my mid-40s, but I wasn't good enough.
that was
So is
my
that-
plan all
that-
along
yeah,
too.
also, but
for
that-
sure.
yeah.
I grew up in Las Vegas. I actually really wanted to play hockey. That's what I think is so cool about the Knights. When I was a
Yeah.
kid, I wanted to play hockey, but there was one place or something in Vegas, and it was across town. It wasn't exactly like a hockey town, so hopefully
Yeah, what are you going to
it'll
do?
build it up.
I'm stoked.
Yeah. I mean, I was talking to Daniel about this actually, and he, the idea that like now people from California are getting drafted into the NHL when like 15 years ago that wasn't
That wasn't the
that
case.
wasn't even a thing. So maybe in 10 years we'll see some people from Vegas getting drafted into the NHL.
That would be so cool.
Yeah. Right.
That's when it really
PLO.
comes home.
Yeah, exactly. It's building a
Some
foundation.
clunky kings for or Glenn under the gun. He's gonna limp in. King, king, queen, 7. We got a dangler.
Yeah, that's an entire hand of danglers. Like if I was gonna play king, king, queen, I would really, and I was gonna play at 7. I probably wouldn't be under the gun, and it would be suited at least. But at the same time, I'd much rather at 7 be like a jack, a 10.
Yeah. So you see the difference here between not just PLO and PLO8 and Hold'em. I mean, Sally and Glenn have kings and aces here respectively, and no one loses mind, and people are just limping in here. I mean,
right.
Neither player has any low capability. The flop's already 8-7-3, so the best any winning players can do is chop if they're getting called down for the most part.
Yeah, the thing too is like if you're playing king, king, queen, 7, you need like an exact flop to make any money.
Yeah. Brendan turns a set of 5s here. Ryan's got 2 6 blockers, but once again, the low's already completed.
I think that Brendan is probably going to not make any more money and potentially bet this.
Sally bets 20. He checked.
Oh. Well. Yeah, no.
And Brendan folds a set of 5s.
It's just not a great hand.
No.
Like you have a great high Badoogie hand.
Yeah,
If you're playing high Doogie and you're starting with king, queen, 7, that's not bad. You know what? Sometimes when you're playing cash and you're playing on the stream, you want to see a flop.
Why not?
Yeah. It happens.
Play all the hands.
You know, plus, I mean, we have to have something to talk about. So if you're limping king, king, queen, 7, you know, then you're giving us material. It's like that thing where it's like, oh, let's mess up these windows because otherwise the guy who cleans the windows doesn't have a job. That's really messed up and a stupid way to think.
Yeah.
But still, it's supposed to be a joke.
Yeah.
It turned into not a joke.
We gotta have something to do.
Come on, Glenn. Limp whatever you got. Oh, I thought he was pulling his hand back as per our request. Scott only makes it 10 this time. Is that right?
He's exploiting people's tendency to call him too much.
Yeah, Rick. Rick just said that a guy from Arizona was the rookie of the year last year.
Yeah, there we go.
So desert hockey for sure.
Chef's gonna call with the ace jack 9 deuce. Got that ace deuce combo working for him. He's got a suited ace. Ryan feels pressed in on the button. Ace 7-7-3 double suited. Flop is ace king king. Brendan flops a lot of kings.
It's too bad for him though because I don't think he's really gonna get much action.
6 brings in the low draw.
He might get it. I don't know. I don't know that anybody's going to call. I don't mind check betting because he does have a low draw, right? 4-7. You don't love it, but you're not really betting your low draw there. You're betting your trips.
Bet 40, call 40 from Scott. Scott turned to 6 and Scott drawn to a low. Turn 5, Scott makes qualifying low with his 3-4. And these fine gentlemen will chop it up.
Check, chop. Let's say, I think we need wine at the table. No, I'm just
if at the table you mean in the booth, I'm with you.
Yeah. Every table.
Every table.
This is a table here.
It's a qualifying table.
Yeah. All right, so Matt's got 1.2. He hasn't really mixed it up so far on the stream, but the game starts a little bit before the stream, so he probably has made a decent chunk of money so far. Hollywood's up there. Look, Hollywood, I'm telling you, that's him in the background.
Oh,
he
the
just
racks
has
there?
all of these chips, and
He's
he
ready.
just it's almost like a intimidation sort of thing. Like his war paint is.
You're saying he's Hollywood.
All of the chips, perhaps, yeah. I guess so. Some people might call that fronting.
The coolest kids, you know.
Yeah. You know what's weird is like it's been since we had like the fall classic and everything, it's actually been a decent amount of time since I've been in the booth. I know you did one of the Fall Classic.
I did the main event this last Sunday with me and Jonathan Little till 2 in the morning.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Some stream hangover.
It was real. Jeff's got a playable hand, ace, queen, jack 3. 3 to Broadway, ace 3 low draw, and a suited queen.
Ryan
He just
says,
went for it.
"Rawr."
See, I just opened that hand, ace, queen, jack 3.
I would too. In late position. I can see maybe like limping early position if everybody's limping.
Ryan's gonna take the aggressive line here. He's gonna open up the jack 8-5-4 double suited. Brendan's gonna flat king 5 deuce, king 5 deuce, and Scott's got the ace deuce combo. He's gonna make a call as well.
It's fun for us because we know that no one has a 6, but I think everybody's gonna, tiptoe around this a little bit. Although I think if it checks to Ryan, Ryan's probably gonna bet. Maybe
Check it
not.
back.
Oh, I guess he's not on the button, so he does have somebody behind him.
We should be able to fold out all the 10s. Of course, I think he was gonna call for backdoor low here. Brendan's got the best hand by far with the kings. Ryan's gonna float him.
Yeah, interesting choice. That's probably gonna.
Not the card I think Ryan wanted to try to take
Like
this
if you're
pot
gonna
away.
get hard on the turn, yeah, I don't think you want to see a
If
heart
Ryan-
that
yeah.
pairs the board.
River 8. Brendan's kings up are still good here.
Yeah, but you don't love it if you're Brendan, I don't think.
And now the bet, and this is probably gonna work.
200, just under pot, right? 200 into 225.
Brendan's never checking back a 6 or a 10 on the turn. Because Ryan's probably not going to be check calling a 10 on the flop.
If there is somebody at the table who is gonna pick this off, I think these two, even if the situation was reversed, like making a call here with kings, I think both of these guys would at least consider it.
9-7, the 9-7 got there, like the 7-8-9 straight wrap got there.
Yeah.
And Ryan takes it away from him. All the way from the bay,
All the way.
coming to get some of that Stones money.
Chris
Ryan Leonis.
Moneymakerson says something about a hoodie contest.
On the Stones City contest last time, no declared winner. Ends at 11:43.
Do you guys have like
I believe
a guess of when the tournament would end?
Hollywood is giving away a Stones hoodie,
Oh,
if
okay.
I'm not mistaken. That's the word on the street, anyhow.
Word on the street.
That's
I
what
wouldn't
my
be
people-
surprised.
Yeah.
Hollywood is.
It seems like a very Hollywood thing to do.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. He's very just like nicer than you would expect someone to be. If that makes sense, right? So I think
Yeah.
in general, sometimes that's a little off-putting because you just think like, how is this guy this nice and sincere?
Yeah, I don't trust anyone like that.
Yeah,
Just
it's
kidding.
hard to. It's hard to.
Grooves says that the Rhino knows. It's a nice float out of position. I mean, I don't know if I have the stones to make that move that Ryan just made on Brendan. But because like, if Brendan doesn't have a 6 there, then he should be able to take it away on a later street. His the initial thought process might have been to check raise turn, or if Brendan checks back, then he can just like bomb river and fold
Yeah, it
out,
just worked.
fold out everything. Which is what he
Ryan's
did.
pumping it again. King 5-4. I think he's getting action from Brendan and Jeff and Scott. The Stones, yeah. Great pun.
And I've all decent
3
flop here for
flush
Ryan.
draws.
Ryan's got the overpair, the open into straight draw, and the king high flush draw.
Also, what is that? The second low, right? Oh no, I guess third low.
Third not low. Draw.
Third not low draw. This could get a little saucy. 65.
65 into 105. I like it. Brendan.
Yeah. If he had another club, he might peel one.
Scott's gonna call.
They might all peel. No, all right, Jeff. I like it. Good fold by Jeff, I think.
Scott doesn't want a club here. He needs a jack 8 or a 9. And turning top set is
yeah.
Ryan.
And do you check back here to
No.
maybe get maybe get some value in the river? Like, do you? That's a scary card. Like, I guess you bet here because of low draws. You want people who would call you with a low draw.
If he's got an ace 4, yeah, we can still get value from the ace 4. We're definitely betting here. Here comes Ryan.
Will there be a PLO stream soon?
Yeah, I believe we are streaming PLO soon. I'm not a.
I think at least once a month it's some
I think we're- I
variation,
think we
some
got one-
PLO variation, whether
Yeah.
it's 8 or better or PLO high. Something like that is definitely going down. Let's see. Ryan makes it. What is that? 225.
Scott doesn't know he's drawing dead to a 10 here. Cannot win any other way.
In Scott's mind, he's thinking a club. He's probably good. Well, I mean, I'd say probably.
Probably almost always good.
A club he thinks is good. Maybe he thinks Ryan is just pounding a low draw or like a low draw with a draw or something. You did flop top pair. I don't, you have no low. And a 10 is the only card that's helping you in terms of the straight. He may also think a queen keeps him alive.
He probably thinks this club might be good too. And Ryan can still have like ace 5-4, something like that, or ace 4-3, ace 4 deuce.
Yeah, based on the hands, all of the hands that started this hand were hands you'd expect to see in a high only PLO. But yeah, so Scott makes the call on the turn.
River deuce.
Woo-hoo.
Ryan's got it on lockdown. King's full of deuces here.
All right, so how much are you gonna bet?
We stuff it.
You think you bet the whole? Well, he only got 400, so you can't really bet 2.
And if our opponent has like a hand, like if he had like a hand like ace deuce 4, ace deuce 5, something like that, maybe even with the club. The problem is the deuce club's already out there. So Ryan's holding the 4 clubs, so it'd have to be specifically like the ace deuce 5 with the like ace 5 of clubs.
I think the entire the stream just stopped.
You could bet smaller and we could bet smaller and try to get a call by the other by the ace deuces.
Yeah, Lance, you guys know that or?
Why did we go off? Are we off?
Yeah.
We lost connection to the table. Is it still not back up?
Oh, it's back up? Rick says it's back up. Let's hit play. Let's see if we're back up. Because otherwise, I don't want to sit here and stare at the computer like a...
Ladies, gentlemen, are we back?
What's going on here? This is just... Alright, I'm going here. I'm not used to the touchscreen. We are back. Bam.
We're back.
Hello.
We're live as hell.
All right, cool. Well, for those of you guys who missed it, I think Ryan bet the river there, and Scott folded.
So yeah, if we're trying to get value, Queen Poker, what's going on? If we're trying to get value like from any deuce, the river was a deuce. Maybe if we can get some like ace deuce to call.
Well, you're always betting, but it's just like how much, right?
Well, the hard thing is there because Ryan's got the 4 clubs in his hand. So if you're looking at the hands that Scott might be calling with, I'd be like ace deuce 4. Then we don't get value from the river. Maybe ace deuce 4, like ace deuce 5, probably with clubs. So, but because he has the 4 clubs in hand, we're looking almost like specifically at ace deuce 5 with the ace 5 of clubs that bricked off. That might have rivered, like top trips.
But anytime he only had 400. The pot was 600. I think you have to go the whole thing.
Just put it all in
Just
there.
because, in the rare occasion that maybe he's got, queen deuce or something, right?
Yeah.
You're getting called by a worse full house. You're always going to get called by a full house.
Yeah. And we might get called by a deuce. Especially
And any other bet just looks weird, don't you think?
Looks too value-y.
This could be a fun flop. Actually, this is a really fun flop. Playing with the plug. Yeah, Jake was so upset about that river. And he kicked the plug.
I play with my plug.
That's a different streaming website that you guys...
Brendan flops the nut low wrap.
Yeah. and a Jack High Diamond draw, which he has to feel pretty decent about.
There's already $810. How did we already get $810 in the pot? Someone opened in 3-bet? I'm assuming Ryan 3-bet, because that's what Ryan likes to do.
Well, it's
Scott
810 with he's betting 400, right? Yeah.
Oh, he made a pot
So
size.
he bet the pot, which put him all
Wow,
in.
and Ryan's-
everyone's going for it
And
with
here
the
we go,
ace
Ryan's
deuce.
got the diamonds.
Obviously, in this situation, I think I would rather. Oh, I guess Brendan. You probably want Brendan's hand without seeing the hands. If you were to pick one of these 3 hands and have on
Brendan's,
this,
yeah.
you want
Wow, and
this.
Scott's is going to call off right here.
Yeah. So this is
Scott's
pretty
calling the nut
exciting.
low draw. Brendan's got the nut low draw. Brendan's got the
What does
wrap on the
Scott
low.
need here? Running 4s. Actually, running 4s is only good for a chop. He can't get running 4s.
Ryan's got the bigger straight wrap. Well,
Yeah.
not the bigger,
deuce
not
or a
wrap.
7.
Yeah, he's 7, deuce. Deuce
diamond.
Deuce is a miracle card.
Oh
for
my
him.
gosh! If he well, he can't get the deuce of diamonds, but any other deuce. Actually, it's gonna be really hard for him to pull a deuce, considering they both have ace deuce. But Brendan's got to feel pretty decent. Actually, Brendan probably hates this. When you bet the pot and then find out that the one part of the hand that you currently have locked up, you're sharing with someone else.
Right.
And you know that what's like if you get counterfeited,
And just like that, we got a $2,600 pot in PLO8. That's why I love this game.
But he could have a situation where he 3/4 Scott, although Ryan has them both covered. So
9 of clubs doesn't improve anyone.
at this rate,
7,
the 7
6,
gives
3,
Ryan
Ryan
the
the straight.
but yeah.
And
so
then, so Ryan's going to take half the pot here. Brendan and Scott will chop the low. Ryan 6-3 for straight will take the high. Quarter for Brendan, quarter for Scott. Half the pot to Ryan Leonis.
great job, Ryan. Oh, Chris is that?
It is Hollywood.
It's Hollywood. Oh, okay. So he's giving away the hoodie. I misunderstood that. I thought he was asking you a question about the hoodie. All right, cool. Yeah, I mean, everybody really. Let's just say, like, once 2 people go all in and you have Scott's hand, I don't think you're loving it. I could see if you had 2 clubs. Maybe you have like the nut club backdoor draw with the nut low draw.
Yeah.
I could, and you want to gamble a little bit, but it's going to be hard for you to get too much back on that one. Obviously, Brendan and Ryan both flop really huge hands on that board.
And just like this, Ryan Leonis might not ever leave. He's like, all right, guys, I'm here to stay now.
Yeah, what's really great too is the what is it, the Jack 8-5-4, where he's winning chips on a pot that
Yeah.
almost no one, and probably him most of the time, isn't winning chips with. A hand that he's just. So Ryan takes the lead.
Rhino knows. Grooves knows what's up.
Yeah, that was
So
awesome.
I was really excited to watch this guy play tonight. I got a lot of respect for his game. I played with him at Running Up Reno a couple years back.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah, real good dude. Good human being. Anyone who plays mixed games, for the most part, is going to err on the better
Excellent,
side
yeah.
of human beings.
Just
you know?
great people.
Yeah. Those
No,
goddamn
it's
Hold'em
the
players.
most fun I've ever had at poker is always mixed games.
It is. They're more sociable, so you talk, you BS.
Play without having to be disabled. Yeah, that's funny. You
Yeah.
actually get to play with him without having to lose any money to him. Oh yeah, Groove 5. I feel like I might know you. If you know Ryan, then you might know me too. Who are you? Quit hiding
he's
behind.
Grooves.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Grooves. I say Groove 5. I guess Grooves is probably
I
better.
think Grooves. We'll go Grooves. You didn't even know this is
Groove
Groove
5
5.
is
He's not Grooves.
All right.
I'm
that guy.
guy.
He's that guy that's always telling you about how great Dramaha is.
Telling you. King 5-4 for Jeff under the gun. Clunky kings.
I don't
as
love
you would
it.
Say.
Certainly better than King Queen 7, but not much.
It's gonna go ahead and limp in.
Is it one of those spots where you're hoping that everybody limps? Grooves. Oh, Glenn has a decent high
check,
only
10,
hand
double set,
with,
yeah.
with facing a few limps in late position. You might be able to peel with that, I guess.
It's fine. If limps are getting through, I think it's a fine hand to limp with in late position. Feeling
Scott got a
groovy.
a reasonable hand in the cutoff. And I think Hollywood has a really nice hand on the button. Ace 3, 6-8 with a suited ace. So, I mean, it's not like really, it's nice. It's certainly a nice hand to have on the button. The suited ace, 2 wheel cards.
Ace 3, yeah. 10, 9, 4, 2 spades.
Oh, yeah, sorry,
There, you're
here,
good.
let me move these. Yeah, that flop.
Sally's got the only spades.
Oh, right. So this is a great flop for Glenn, or at least a reasonable flop for Glenn.
Flop stop set.
If you have a set here, you probably don't want to go nuts until. Well, I mean, you want to go nuts. But
I like going nuts.
you go nuts on the flop, or do you wait to see like a reasonable turn?
You give me 4
Maybe
cards.
like a low
Well,
turn.
I'm not going nuts ever. Darkness.
Our screen just went black. My guess
My
is that
darkness is shining.
Tom Cruise just rocked up and
Yes,
cut the
he's
power.
Rappelling from the ceiling
Ving
right
Rhames
now.
is in the elevator shaft. And
And we're live.
yeah, hey, what's up? Mission Impossible, the Stones live poker version.
Version's good.
That's what's happening. We can't actually tell you what's happening because it's top secret.
So I like what we're seeing from Ryan so far. Obviously, I mean,
Yeah.
we knew that. I mean, this was kind of his game. This is what he's
Right.
into.
And he's
So-
on the revenge tour too because
Yeah.
he came down here last time and wasn't able to get in the game.
Yeah, and I'm
this
gonna
time
make up
he
for it
got here
now.
early.
I'm gonna take the Jack 8,
Gonna make
5, 4 double
all the
suited,
money.
and I want to make a move with it. I mean, got him hats off. Like I said, he's not just here to knit it and quit it. He's gonna make some moves. The Jack 8, 5, 4, as you just mentioned. He's playing poker. It's and here we are now entertaining us.
Right,
It's good.
sure. It's not
Gotta
bad
dig
too because, I mean, with a Jack 8, 5, 4, obviously you're not playing that very often, if ever. But if you are playing it, theoretically you could still flop the nuts, right? Like you can still make a wheel with that hand.
double suited,
You're
hit some
not
flushes.
loving it too much, but he wasn't really so concerned with what his hand was at that point, as much as he was about his position
Yeah.
and then what he thinks other people's hands are relative to that 10-6-6 flop, right?
Yeah, I'm curious to see how players like Matt H adapt to Ryan getting aggressive, taking control of the table. The hard part for Matt is Matt's out of position against Ryan for most hands,
Yeah.
so it's really, I mean, position is king in all variants of poker,
Right.
and PLO8, it's like even that much more important, for getting that extra little bit of value, or controlling the pot, pushing pot limit type games, being in position. So it's gonna be harder for Matt to do that. I'm curious to see what he's gonna do and how he's gonna adjust there. We haven't seen him play a lot of hands yet. Haven't seen him do a lot.
Yeah, he hasn't really been that involved yet.
I wouldn't expect him to have a lot of experience playing with Ryan either. Everyone else at the table, I would, seemed like mostly locals. So I would expect Matt and Jeff to have some reasonable amount of experience playing with.
Just following the timer. The timer's not a delay.
What's that? Yeah.
Just a delay.
Oh, okay. So we had technical difficulties, and the table will be back up as soon as that timer expires. So for 13 minutes, we're gonna talk whatever you want. We're gonna take love advice. No, I'm just kidding.
Those are
Hockey questions.
Where are you guys watching this from? Frenchie78. Where are you guys out of? Grooves?
France? No.
I'm assuming that Grooves has got to be somewhere out of the Bay
Yo,
Area,
Grooves
right?
is from Detroit. That's what I'm thinking.
What?
I'm just making
Grooves.
this up as we're going on. Grooves from
Pilot
Detroit.
Ray, what is up?
Also, Groove is in the heart.
Grooves in the heart.
Is that a song?
What is that? Something delight. God damn it! I know that.
Berkeley from Philly.
Berkeley by way of Philly. Goes to them.
Detroit, same idea. See, Grooves, someplace where like
Detroit,
break
same
dancing is
idea.
a thing. I don't know.
Frenchie78 checking us out from New York.
All right, so what we
MGX,
were saying one thing
watching
too,
that
though.
Weldwood is watching us from Virginia.
Oh yeah, Vegas.
Droid Trooper in Folsom, nice.
Nice. This one could be flying stones.
Pilot
right here.
Ray out of Denver. Gotta love that.
Yeah, Denver. Yo. Denver's nice. You been there?
I have not been to Denver yet. I got a buddy who travels out of Denver a couple times a year who's trying to drag me along. I just haven't pulled the trigger yet. It's hard to, because then if I go with him to Denver, I'd have to miss my button, and I just can't do that here. I just can't miss any hands, man. Gotta hit the hands right here. It's good.
Speaking of hands, Jake did come straight from the table to the booth, which is actually, I mean, we don't have to talk about that hand specifically.
No, but I talk to myself, okay, I'm not going to play like short sessions anymore. I pretty much, okay, if I'm commentating poker, I'm not going to play right before stream, because by the time I get here, I just don't have enough time to actually sit down, map out the table,
Right.
get in rhythm, and play. So, okay, I'm not going to play pre-stream anymore. So I get to the table to
So you get here early and you're playing you're
what
like,
am I gonna
oh,
do?
whatever.
Well, I'm gonna eat dinner anyhow here at Stone's, our lovely restaurant we have here. So might as well just
Yeah, the food here is
play,
great.
pitch a couple hands, and just and
Yeah, fold unless you get aces.
Yeah.
Or in this case, ace king suited in the small blind.
oh, it's so bad. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna play through my button, and then get stacked in my small blind after. Oh well, poker happens. That's a lot of fun though.
Queen poker's in Atlanta.
I love that.
I don't
Poker out of Atlanta. See, I mistook that for Deborah.
Oh, right.
I mistook that for Deborah.
Okay, yeah.
So it's not.
That is, she's like Queen Bee or Poker
Queen
Bee.
Poker Bee.
Poker Bee.
Poker Bee. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, that's cool. Atlanta. There's a show written by his name Donald Glover. Donald Glover, the guy from Community, wrote and starred in a show called Atlanta. It's like a comedy type thing. It's supposed to be really good. It's on FX.
I'm stoked.
Called Atlanta, yeah.
Overall
on what
thoughts
kind
on
of
the series? How did the series go for you? I mean, would you do any commentary during the series? You play much during the series?
Oh, the World Series?
No, the Stones Fall Classic.
Oh no, I played the Omaha tournament, of course.
Yeah.
I think I finished like 2 out of the money. That was kind of a bummer. It was like super turbo-y though.
Yeah.
I won like a pretty big pot when I turned a wheel against 2 other people, and yeah, it was fun. So I played that. I played the Six Max, and it's like one of the only tournaments, like no limit hold'em tournaments I played where I had like stupid amount of chips early. Just like an absurd amount of chips early.
Yeah, that's not really your MO, right?
I was like, what is happening, right? So I think like it started, I had like won a few hands or whatever, but I was pretty much starting stack, and then some guy shoved like 22 bigs under the gun, and I had 10s in the big blind, and I was just like, like I kept thinking like, okay, like that could easily be jacks, like, I mean, whatever. I don't remember exactly I think it was like 20 bigs under the gun.
That's a lot of bigs under the gun.
Yeah, but I think at that point I had started to win, so that was like only half my stack or something like that. So I was still sitting pretty healthy at that point. So I called that, he had 8s, and then from there it was just like people were just piling money into my chip stack, and then I ran into a spot where typically I was, poor decision making.
But Six
so I
Max
cashed the Six Max. So
That's
fun,
nice.
yeah.
Six Max is coming on strong here. We're running a Six Max tournament every Sunday, I believe, still.
Yeah, $100 Six Max.
$100,
right?
yeah, Six Max Sunday. It's really good. And so I think the area is kind of finally getting the hang of Six Max. A lot of players, that are used to playing ring games, they just don't want to they don't want to incur the blinds that often.
Right.
You have to play more. You get to play more aggressive the way I like to look at it. But in their eyes,
Yeah,
you
well,
have to play
anytime
more
the table
aggressive.
is set for you to play more hands,
Yeah.
everybody's supposed to like that, right? Like,
It's
you
gonna
don't
favor-
just
it's
want to keep
gonna
folding until you
favor-
get aces,
yeah, it's
right?
gonna
Like,
favor the more aggressive, the more creative type player. I love it.
Yeah.
But I think everyone is now starting to come around to it. I think we saw a pretty good turnout for our Six Max tournament we had here. I would expect it to only go up in the
Pretty good,
future.
yeah.
And especially after this last series for the Sunday Six Max that they run here.
yeah, and building a
expect that to go
popularity
up.
of the
Yeah,
format too.
it's
If you're
good.
doing it every Sunday. So.
Exactly. Same thing, with the Omaha and the non-hold'em variants. Like we're having that string here tonight at PLO8.
Yeah.
I'd love to see us get a PLO8 tournament going. I'm trying to
Oh
quit.
my gosh.
I'm trying to quit tournaments, but if there's one thing that's gonna bring me out of retirement, it's gonna be. If they start
Okay, here then, Justin. If you ever want to bring Jake out of retirement,
If you ever
have a PLO8 tournament.
if you
at
ever need to hit a
Stones.
guarantee like in a tournament, just call it PLO8 and
Yeah.
watch me fire.
You know what's funny is like I didn't play the main, but normally when it comes to Stones tournaments, I come because I want to support the brand. You're playing a tournament that maybe like I wouldn't normally go out of
Sure.
my way to play. But yeah, so it's a pretty big success. Who won that? We had like a 40K first place,
I
right?
think Val. I don't think that's Val. Val commentated, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay.
If I'm not, I think Val and Annette Oberstad were commentating.
Oh, the Six Man. I meant the main. But
Oh,
yeah.
the main. Oh, buddy of mine, Paul, out of the Bay Area.
Okay.
Yeah, kid. Wow, I call everyone a kid.
Yeah.
Guy's a crusher. Guy's a real solid player. He knocked out Val and Nick Colvin and a bunch of our friends.
Oh, wow.
He knocked them out of the tournament. When I saw Paul and Tony Bracey and then Hugh, who won the last Fall Classic, at the final table, I knew, okay, like, all right, like get the coffee going. There's no chance these guys are going to chop. Mind you, I prefer people to play it out. I think playing it out is good for
Right.
poker.
The chop,
Good for I mean, developing your short-handed poker skills. I mean, you want to be in those spots where you think you have an advantage over other players that aren't used to playing short-handed. So the more chances you have to play it out, I mean, you should play it out.
Yeah.
That said, for someone who's like, hey, do you want to, be in the commentary booth till 2, 3 in the morning?
Right, if it's up to the guys in the booth, they're
Yeah,
like chop.
You guys
But
just chop it up nine-handed now.
I've never been a huge fan of the chop, kind of. The chop, I don't really like. I mean, okay, like I'll chop if it's like forehand or whatever. I'm not totally against it. I don't like paying the bubble. I really hate doing that.
I like abusing the bubble, so yeah, I'm the
I'm
guy
not
that
a
always
fan
votes against
of
paying
doing
the
that.
bubble.
I hate being the only guy that does that, but I have been the only guy that does that before.
I'm usually the guy that's
We had
just
oh my gosh. Well, it's not that funny. But at the Orleans, they had over the summer $125 triple draw low ball mixed tournament. Right?
Oh.
We had 6 people left, and the blinds are pretty huge. Like everybody's got like 5 big bets, right?
Oh, wow.
So when I have like 300K, I'm like, the only way I want to do it, like if we're gonna chop, we're just gonna do like an even chop, 1100 period, right? When I have 100K, I said the same thing. So the whole time I'm like, if you wanted any kind of deal, even chop,
Or no.
1100 period. But these people who had like 400K were like, oh no, I should get something else. And it's like, really? Why? You have like one extra bet? In one hand you could be out of the tournament.
Yeah.
So, the way that people, I guess I'm just not a really big fan of negotiating. I never wanted to or really worked in sales. Like I don't want to do this back and forth.
I like upsetting people. When everyone's there wanting to feel good about themselves from in cashing,
Yeah.
I'm the guy who's like,
Well,
no.
then my favorite is like, oh, I gotta go to work tomorrow. Then why did you play the tournament?
play the
Did you-
goddamn
like,
tournament?
I'm sorry, I don't care. I have like zero. I cared zero.
Big Earn F9 thinks I should grow the beard back out. I think he's right.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
Yeah.
Let's both grow it out.
Bring it
Yeah,
out, bro.
let's just-
It's gonna be good.
I don't know. I've never had like, you know what it was? What made me actually start thinking about the beard again is like, it was like some interview with James Harden, and I was just like, man, that dude has a beard. And
Sure,
yeah,
it's
but
got
see,
going
like,
on.
I would like a little bit more in the cheek type area, just like a
Yeah.
little bit. It's a little thin here.
Yeah.
So that's kind of usually why I shave it off.
You just
Whatever.
just don't fight it, man. Just bring it out. Just
Yeah,
embrace
yeah. At some point, I'll just like never shave. I do have this like dream of living in Costa Rica and becoming like a fisherman and never shaving or wearing a shirt ever again in my life. Just like living on the beach, like would be fun.
it. Yeah.
Would be quite a life.
Professionally, just like hanging out.
Right? Yeah, like Captain Ron or whatever.
Guys, we
haven't
are
seen-
4 minutes away here from going live again. It is 5-5, PLO8. The game's been good so far. I think players need to. Well, I don't know. They need to loosen up. Scott's playing every goddamn hand.
Well, we were
which
only
is
an
good.
hour in. It wasn't too bad. Scott's playing a lot of hands. Hollywood is being Hollywood. He's not really he's not getting in there too much.
Tipping the dealer.
But with the, I do think that Matt, like Matt's position at the table is probably neutralizing a lot of spots where maybe he would be more aggressive because he does have Ryan to his left. Also, the thing that's funny too is, especially in pot limit, like if you put money in the pot and the guy next to you is like Jeff, right? Jeff is in C2. If he's got a hand, he's probably not going crazy. If he's got like a calling hand, right, he's gonna call, and then that just makes Ryan's raise even bigger, right? So it's almost like you want to hesitate to put money in the pot. So I don't know how much Matt's thinking of that. If he's just thinking he's gonna play whatever hands he's got. And
I think he was thinking
takes
about
the
how much sriracha he's gonna put on his salad, and now
Yeah.
that he's through the salad.
Technically, I think you should get 0 sriracha on a salad, personally, but
Frenchie78 says that it feels like PLO8 is not really a game where you can loosen up. Your play is dictated by the cards you get. I think there's a lot of truth to that.
yeah. I mean, also PLO8 gives you a chance to utilize the blocker kind of idea a little bit more effectively than you would in limit, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't is that? Are we supposed to read that? Is that
Sure.
how somebody can get the hoodie?
Chris Moneymaker. So, like I said, they're giving away Chris Moneymaker's giving away a hoodie. For those of you who don't know, Hollywood gets named Hollywood because he is a Hollywood director and actor. And in 2012, he starred in a movie called Lucifer and the Mangus.
The Mangus?
question is, what was the role that Hollywood had in that movie, and who was the director of the movie? Who was also the famous actor who got Hollywood into poker? Submit your answers.
Huh. If I had to guess
Google.
the famous actor that got Hollywood into poker,
Hollywood
James
actors.
Woods.
Yeah, it's gotta be. Yeah. Who else could it be?
that would be my guess.
Yeah.
Somebody can take that answer and
Cruz,
cash it in for a hoodie.
Cruz says you can. It's just really hard. Yeah, you can. You can open a lot of PLO. If your table's playing really, really passive, you can play pretty wide and play blunt force trauma on some people. In a tournament, not so much because for obvious reasons. Well, we don't have an infinite number of chips like we theoretically could have in a cash game.
Yeah.
But in cash games, you can get a little loosey if everyone's not willing to. I mean, it takes a lot sometimes for people to call you down to hero you for half the pot,
Right.
when they actually might be scooping. So I mean, you can get pretty abusive out there.
Yeah, well, Frenchie said it's hard because you can't bluff people out of low draws. I think you generally want people to call you with only a low draw.
Yeah,
like if you're at a
absolutely.
spot where people are putting in, you're calling a pot-sized bet on the turn with only
With
a
just
low
a low draw, yeah.
then you love it.
Yeah,
Sometimes you might get scooped by the one card that
Yeah,
scooped you and maybe gives them like a wheel or something.
A wheel or
Yeah, something, but you're not going to see that very often. The fun or the interesting part, I guess, would come in where the river is like a brick, right? Sometimes I'll bet big draws really big in PLO. Like if I have like a wrap or like an open-ended straight draw and the nut low draw, or like a nut flush nut
Yeah.
low draw, and there's a lot of money already in the pot, I'm happy to like try to take it down there. But I also I'm not against potting in that situation where you have like tons of cards on the river. Occasionally, I guess it's like a high variance way to play PLO, but at the same time,
I think it's the right way to play.
Yeah.
Just blunt force trauma.
yeah.
Say pot until they fold or you improve. That's how we win.
Yeah. Woo, we're back.
We are back in the game. Big Hog and 54
The
joining the
fastest-
stream. What is going on? Your game's strong. Gotta love that. And we got a
game
flop
is
from King 10-4.
Looks like we're only seeing 2 of the cards. They're still playing PLO8.
Don't worry, guys. We're still playing.
We're plowing all our money away. Awesome.
Rep the nuts and hope you have a low. It's true. Just get after it.
Yeah. I mean, you also have to gauge the table, too. If you have a bunch of people who are playing tight, then a nut flush blocker can be something that's very valuable to you, like in a certain spot. If you know that they're not, but if you have a table of people who are prone to calling with the second or third best flush for any amount of money, then the
Yeah.
blocker is going to be
And you gotta-
irrelevant.
Yeah, and you got to understand your image. If you're playing that style, you're going to get called down more lighter as people do adjust. But it's hard for people to adjust. Hard for people to get the stones to just call you down really light.
Yeah,
Or-
sure.
Yeah, for very well, like it could be half pot.
I'm your idol.
Action trackers still
I'm
got to
gonna go
change
with,
the game over.
Maybe not. Debatable.
SD619 in the chat. What?
Yeah. I am apparently. There's one person in the world.
Here's your
I'm their idol.
you're his pagan idol.
Yeah.
It's good.
Awesome. Paint me gold.
So good.
I don't know why that's so funny. Makes me think of this like. Makes me think of Mr. T or whatever when he's like, oh.
Cards back in the air. Action Tracker's doing some catch up. I think Action Tracker's will set on Hold'em. Can you get it caught up?
Yeah.
Scott's got 4 cards.
Yeah, we're good. We'll figure out what the other 2 are. We'll make it happen.
We'll see how good I am at hand reading here.
Oh yeah, like
gonna
Scott's
open up
opening.
the
So
pot.
any potential hand.
Yeah,
Scott
Scott's-
probably. Let's see. Scott has like, double suited Jack High.
Or a pair. A pair in
Only
a
if you
suit.
love the rainbow.
Taste the rainbow. Hollywood makes a call. Hollywood's probably got ace, deuce, 3.
Yeah, Hollywood's got the nuts.
Yeah.
Is it Joe? Does Matt? No, Matt. Ryan has a hand. Does Brendan have a hand too, or? Looks
Yeah,
like check.
We're heads up here, if I'm not mistaken. Does Brendan have a card? Did Jeff make
looks
the
like-
call?
oh, you
no,
said
no.
Hollywood.
Ryan made the
It's
call.
Ryan and Scott.
Ryan made the call out of the big. Can't see the flop. It's gonna be hard to commentate this one without seeing the flop.
Yeah, it looks like high cards. I see at least like a 10. Maybe there's a 9 and 8. That looks like a king or a jack or something.
So one gully foil says 3/4ing a pot is more profitable than scooping the pot. I think he means 3/4ing a PLO8 pot versus scooping
Right,
a
yeah,
PLO
where you have the
pot.
same low, but
'Cause
you actually have a legit high.
Well, I think it's because he says you get more people in the pot. You'll naturally get bigger pots. Thinking like often I'm thinking 3/4 of a PLO8 pot is
pretty big,
better
yeah.
than taking a whole of a PLO pot. PLO pots sometimes just aren't as big because you don't see as many multi-way showdowns like you do in PLO8. Any high-low variant, you're gonna see more multi-way showdowns. People are like, okay, well, I think I got the high, I also got a low, and anytime you got a split
that
pot,
first big all-in that we had, where there were 3 ways.
3-way smash up.
Scott only really had the low, right?
Yeah.
And at that point, he was sharing the low with someone else, so he's not getting half of the pot. I think that should be your baseline goal. It's not always easy to accomplish, but if every time you put money in the pot, you're getting back at least half the pot,
Yeah.
then that's pretty good.
Free money, honey.
Yeah. But calling for half the pot, like calling on a draw for half the pot, is usually not ideal.
But usually we mean always.
Well, the only time it would be is if like 7 people are going to the river.
Oh, yeah, that's
and
yeah.
you have
No, yeah, multi-way.
yeah, you have like the nut low draw, or something like that.
And that's like an adjustment where players crossing over this game from limit to pot limit might get lost. In limit, it's rarely correct to fold the nut low draw on the turn. Because most pots on the turn are going to be are multi-way. So in this game, you're going to be heads up a much higher percentage of the time, and calling like 3/4 pot size bets on the turn, which is nut low draw, it's just going to cost us money a ton in the long run. And that's an adjustment they said where the games are the same, but adjusting what you can and cannot do or what you shouldn't do based on bet sizing is completely puts a whole other level to this game versus straight limit 08.
Yeah.
Cards are live here, and we got a flop of ace, queen, 10, 2 clubs. Glenn's got 2 pair, and the deuce blockers,
Yeah.
and the nut flush draw.
I mean, you don't hate it if you're Glenn,
There
and
it
he
is.
makes the flush.
Does bring in a low draw.
And this is where you definitely bet if you're Glenn.
Jeff makes a 7 high flush. I don't see him putting a ton of money in, though, and you see him immediately throw it away.
I don't think it. I think it. Well, it's a hard flop to bet because you're probably not getting called by very much, but you also aren't really sweating very much.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, when you actually make the flush on the turn, I guess a low card would have been the only situation. I might lead that flop in a good position with 2 pair and the nut flush draw
Yeah,
and no low.
sure. Absolutely.
I mean, and then, you can always check the turn.
Yeah.
But I guess checking the flop.
The only downside is the king jack comes back and pots right back at us.
Yeah.
But even then, we're gonna have decent enough equity.
Yeah, you still have 2 pairs, so you think you've top 2. So
Top and
if you
bottom.
boat,
Top and bottom.
was ace queen 10.
Ace queen,
Oh
top
yeah,
and
okay.
bottom, and then nut draw.
You're right. King jack is definitely possible.
We got enough equity to pile our chips in. That's all that matters.
Yeah, and that's it. Yeah. Did you say I can just put all my chips in the pot? Okay, cool.
Cool.
That sounds fun. I'll do that. Here you go.
Scott's gonna make it 15 to go with ace jack 6 deuce. Got that little ace deuce working for him. Sally says yes with the 6-4 3 deuce. Ryan's gonna show the card reader what he's got. Ace 8 7 5 double suited. Make the call in position. Brennan king queen 10 5.
Let's say I like Ryan's call more than I like Brendan's call, but was Brendan on the button? No, small button.
Scott's or
It's a
Ryan's
tough spot to be in. I think Brendan is taking an approach of it's only $5, right? Is that
Yeah.
right? It's only $5. That's actually the name of my poker book.
Scott's gonna bet this on king 7-4 rainbow. He's gonna lead out with ace jack 6 deuce.
Not
he's got
low
the nut low
draw
draw.
with the
Got the nut low
backdoor clubs.
Turns the nut low.
I actually like that bet because there's a lot of turn cards that you really like that you can easily fire again.
Yeah,
Any
easy
low,
block.
right? Sure.
Any low, and if we pick up the
club would be even
we can
better.
bomb.
And then he bets 75 on the turn when the low gets there. This is definitely a spot where Sally has. I don't see Sally continuing. Yeah, and it's a good idea to not continue. Ryan
turns 2 pair. These, if we know Scott's gonna bet, here's why we're like, if you can get Ryan to fold, and Scott really doesn't have a qualifying high at all, and he's got nothing for high. This is a spot where hopefully if you bomb the pot here, hoping you can push your opponent to top a marginal high, is the only way we scoop here.
Yeah, and I think you can feel pretty confident.
Wow, he's gonna check it over.
He's gonna
to
check
Ryan.
call. It's not.
And if I'm Ryan, I'm just checking back.
Yeah, I mean you're never gonna fold. Yeah, I don't see Ryan betting because you're gonna get called by every low, and a random 2-pair can beat you
Yeah.
in that spot.
The problem is that we're gonna get ace-3.
I do think
fold
Scott
there,
should
just,
have
like, so
should
small.
have ripped it there, because at the very least you're getting some money back.
Yeah.
Sure, maybe you're getting 3/4, but you're getting some money back.
We get
so
3/4
it takes some of the
sometimes,
sting
but-
off of potting there. But how many times does the guy in position, who is probably more aggressive than you are, make the nut low on the turn and not bet, right?
Or not raise.
raise,
Not
right?
raise.
Just calls, yeah. So
If you got to think, if he had the nut low with some sort of decently strong high,
Right.
that he would have maybe played back at us.
yeah,
The fact that he didn't,
you can feel pretty good bombing
Yeah.
the nut low.
bombing river and
Me-
hoping
yeah.
to fold out marginal highs.
Sure, because then the next time you do that, when you have like top 2 and the nut low draw,
Yeah.
you bomb it. It looks, in general, like it seems the same idea. I think. I don't know.
Sally ace king 6 deuce double suited, ace deuce and a backup 6.
I think this is one of those times too where it can get annoying to play Omaha, because now Sally, right? She played 2 hands in the hour that we've been on, and this is the best hand by far that she's had. Now, if you
Yeah.
just completely whiff this flop, it's sometimes difficult to deal with. That's pretty as close as you can get to whiffing it with ace king 6 deuce 10 8 8. Glenn has an open-ended straight draw, but he probably doesn't love it, and Scott turns the boat, the nut boat. There's an outside chance Jeff might bet his draw here. He's gonna bet it. He doesn't even think about it. $60.
He's open-ended with a flush draw. Little does he know he's deader and
When
dead.
there's 0 action on that kind of board, this is a hand you can bet in position, I think.
Absolutely.
He's probably not going to continue if Scott raises him here. So Scott's only real value spot is maybe. Looks like Scott did raise, like just min clicked. 140. Okay, so he made it. It was a little bit more than like a min click, but I don't think Jeff is going to continue here.
No.
But maybe.
I just don't think Scott's ever doing this without a boat here. I mean, is he really doing this with
could he
ace
do it
eight?
with ace-8? Yeah, I don't know. Like I agree. In
I think it's more
terms
likely-
of max value,
Yeah.
Scott can, but Scott's acting first, so he
I think Scott's
almost-
more likely to lead ace 8 there to get value from flush draws and straight draws.
Yeah.
Than he is to check raise ace 8.
I think I like calling there by Scott, because then if the river coordinates the board, like puts a flush
Or
straight
straight.
on there, and you bomb the river,
Yeah.
because I think that's better than like, let's say you're getting 0, right? Regardless, like Jeff's not putting any more money in the pot once you checked and let him bet.
Yeah.
He has a greater chance of putting money in the pot if you let him get there, right? Like if you let his hand get.
Sure.
I don't think you're worried about anything when you turn queen's fold on that board, right? There's
No.
nothing you're scared of. The
No.
guy can't make a royal.
No.
I get, maybe he
It's
can make
hard.
a straight flush, but is he
I
gonna
mean-
call? Is he gonna peel the
Yeah.
turn with or without like a really good flush draw?
Viscount 01. Don't hate the PLO, bro.
Yeah,
Embrace it.
Well,
Four-card poker.
we definitely don't hate it.
Be a poker player, not a hold'em player.
Texas Hold'em is still the most pure form. Even Hold'em players
Okay,
say that
Doyle.
no limit deuce is the purest form.
I have not heard them say that.
I've heard
you say
a
that.
ton of people say that. I've never said that.
You're
This is
like hanging out
this
like
is
in
the
an
first
echo
time.
chamber. You and your no limit deuce
I've
buddies.
heard it so many
just sitting
times
there
that
like,
I get annoyed when
like,
people
no
say
limit
that.
deuce, no limit deuce?
That's the
Yeah,
only thing
fucking
you have to say about no limit deuce is that it's the purest form of poker. That's it.
No limit deuce was considered for the WSOP main event. Oh man.
Yeah, let's say no limit deuce is great.
It's a great game.
It's a fun game. It's one of my favorites. Badoogie, also one of my favorite games. Actually, Badoogie might be my favorite game. I love Badoogie.
I'm an old man in a young man's body. I feel you. I've been 35 since I was 18, so I mean, I really don't
That's
even
funny
know
because
how
I've been like, 18 forever. I think if you spend any amount of time with me, you're fully aware of that.
Embrace the 4-card poker.
Maybe I've been 23 forever.
23
yeah.
forever.
Like the forever and like Van Wilder, only not as attractive.
Or is Wilder.
Or yeah, exactly.
Jeff's gonna call the
Pot limit
8-5. Is this straddle on? There might be a straddle on.
I always
limit
find it
Badoogie.
interesting when somebody who is semi-tight just explores the space with a hand like 8-5-3-4. I don't know. I guess if you have 3 wheel cards, some people use that as the only determining factor on whether they're going to play the hand or not.
So Matt did put in the straddle pre. That's how we got to this. He got the spot with the 10-8-7-6-3 hearts.
Not too shabby. He's going
He's
to win the
gonna
pot.
Put it out. Queen 9 deuce. It's hard for anyone to connect there.
Except for Matt with his like weird kind of inside.
He just kind of no one connects with Queen 9 deuce. Because no one hits Queen 9 deuce ever. No one ever has King Jack 10.
True. King Jack Ace 3. That's not impossible.
It's rare.
But you're not. You're probably getting raised by that hand.
Yeah.
Pre-flop.
God knows I am.
It's okay. I don't know why that was so funny. I know.
Cards back in action. Is the straddle still on?
I don't think Jeff doesn't strike me as a straddler.
Got the Queen Jack Jack 10 in the suit. Play some high only hands.
He's definitely
Jeff.
gonna limp.
Play some high only hands. There it is. Flicks in the chip like a boss.
It makes me want to. Have you ever seen that movie Wreck-It Ralph?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna limp it. That just went through my head. I'm gonna limp it. That's a good movie though. Ryan's raising. I like it. Fucking 400 big banks to play pot limit Badoogie. One of the. I have won a pot limit Badoogie tournament on PokerStars.
Nice.
$6 pot limit Badoogie tournament. I crushed it.
It's a specialist game.
Yeah. I don't hate pot limit Badoogie, but I do like limit. I like them both a lot. I like Ryan's hand. I don't love it if you're playing Badoogie,
No.
but I like it otherwise.
Scott's got a decent high only hand. King 10 9 8 double suited. The flop comes deuce deuce 5. And here's a spot you in PLO or Hold'em where like okay, well no one connects deuce deuce 5. In a high low game, someone always flops trips here. No one ever doesn't flop trips when there's like a bunch of deuces
Right.
out there. In this case, it's Brendan.
Yeah, the deuce is always like the most likely card
It's
to
the
be. Yeah.
biggest scare card.
Which is so funny because in the times when someone doesn't have it, it's weird to see like, obviously in pot limit you're going to be a little bit like, it's going to be a bit different experience. It's easy to fire out one bet there if you're playing limit, right? Like, oh, let me just see where I'm at. Ryan makes a wheel on a board. Does he make a wheel? He does make a wheel.
Ryan makes a wheel, the ace 4.
And he's going to
Brendan's
bet.
got
Brendan's
deuces
going
full of
to call
threes.
with a boat or whatever. Oh no, check. Yeah, deuces full of threes. Yeah, people drawing the worst. Oh man, Badoogie is great. It's fantastic. If you've never played Badoogie, go grab some friends, play it. Similar to PLO8 in that you really want the ace deuce. Ace deuce 3-4, all those wheel cards. Yeah, no excessive caps. Since this is a
If people
Vegas
want to
night
yell,
stream.
let them yell.
Oh. This is going to be a Vegas night stream, so no caps, no penguins, no Blackhawks.
So JP was deuce, or JP was 2. It says deuce 7 triples is favorite. Give me side to hold them. I love me triple draw.
I like all the games. Yeah. Just the 7's good.
Poker players.
Right.
Holy
I'm a big fan.
These gold during 2
I'll just say
starters.
straight up, and this isn't, I'm not even kidding. I, debate how bad I actually am at No Limit Hold'em, but I was much worse.
We don't debate it.
I was much worse at No Limit Hold'em before I started playing other games, because I think it just forces you to think a bit more, and like in games where you're trying to gauge where someone's at, like in a high-low where you're like trying to figure out high, low, like what kind of, like you're more in that headspace, and I think it helps you be better at other games. It definitely makes you a better Hold'em player, I think.
Flop is Queen Jack 3, 2 hearts. Ryan flops a flush draw and a pair of 3s.
Jack 3. It's got two
Jack 3's
pair
got
and a
the
flush draw.
Got the 2 pair and the flush draw. Turn
might
6.
Bet this turn.
He's going to.
Yeah,
85
especially
in the
it
pot.
checks to him, so he pots it.
He says yes.
Brandon, let's go with the king. Let's see, Jeff. Be a pretty loose call by Jeff.
And this is how the story of how Ryan Leonis moved to Sacramento. Because I'm just never going to leave these games.
Stud 8, yeah, Stud 8's great. I mean, you're not going to say a mixed game, then I'm not going to be like, it's
Yeah,
great.
like that's-
I love it. Big fan. It's hard to even pick my favorite. I will say I think my least favorite is probably Limit Deuce to 7. Just plain Deuce to 7. I like Triple Draw, but I just don't like it as much as I like Badoogie or other draw games.
So, Jeff's got the straight wrap to Broadway.
Got enough blocker, but I mean, at this point,
Got 9 outs to Broadway.
in high-low, if you were to try to like bluff in this spot,
You would need a big heart to come off.
yeah.
You need a
And
nine.
so what do you call and then fire when the big heart hits? I guess he really doesn't want to let go of his hand, and maybe he's just assuming that Ryan's a little bit,
9 makes a straight.
yeah.
Jeff gets there. He
You
is
kinda-
nutted up.
Well, do you check here and let Ryan?
No, I think he said pot.
It said the graphic says check, right? And now Ryan's debating.
No way Ryan's getting this thin.
He thinks that card bricks him.
No, it was Jeff said pot. Jeff verbalized pot. Because Ryan cut out a pot size call.
I think Jeff checked and Ryan bet pot.
No way.
I think it's way more likely that he did that than called with 2-pair.
Why would he value bet the 2-pair there? It's just weird.
I don't think he was value betting. I think he was bluffing. I think he thought it was like a brick. He was thinking, okay, so Jeff's calling on the turn.
The low brick down.
The low brick, the flush
What
brick.
are we trying to
he
fold
makes
queen
like
nine?
a bad straight, right? He had a draw to the higher straight too. So he makes the bottom end of the straight.
Oh, Ryan made a bad straight?
No. Jeff did.
Jeff made the nut straight. He had the king 10.
King 10.
Queen jack
Well,
9.
the only thing that gets there is the bad straight. Because wasn't there a Broadway draw too? Jeff didn't have it, but there was potential Broadway draw. So the 9 gives,
Gives the king 10
yeah, it gives
wrap.
King 10
Gives
the
the king
straight.
10 the ace king 10 wrap.
But
The straight. I don't think Ryan's.
I don't think he's calling.
Well, because
I guess he's calling for the same reason.
But when he put the chips in, Jeff immediately just tabled his hand. I would assume more like
He could have just said call. He flipped his hand over.
He could've.
And then Ryan sees that he can't win, and then the dealer ships the rest
Jeff,
of the pot.
Jeff
No worries.
potted. That's what they're saying. Jeff potted.
Oh my God, nuts. What's that?
Gingerbread man, please stop.
What did I do? Stop what?
I don't think there's any way he was betting there or bluffing. I think he cry called.
Did you call? Okay, so yeah, this is we're gonna get to the bottom of this right now.
All right, what's up?
Okay, so
Last time we just saw the one with the 9 comes off.
on the
and,
river.
On the river, yeah, and I paid off this nut straight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, okay,
So
yeah.
he
bet
bet
you
the pot
calls,
and you
right?
Yeah. That's
Oh,
okay.
okay.
All right, that makes more sense.
It said check. Okay.
So no spoilers, but up to this point, after that hand, you're doing rather well.
Yeah, I feel like you guys have missed some hands on stream a little bit.
We did.
Chip 6, yeah.
We went offline for like a few minutes there, but bro, crushing it. Dig the reg patch. It's looking good, bro.
I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Keep at it,
I don't know what I did. What did I do?
bro. You did it.
But I didn't.
You did it, bro. You know what you did. Fourth spade comes off. Doesn't change anything. Once again in PLO and PLO8, now it's less likely for someone to have a flush. No one does have a flush. Matt's got the. Matt's actually got the low here with his ace 3. Thinks a set of 5s might be good as well. Scott's got the 6-4 for the straight. So Scott's 6-4 will take the high, and ace 3 for Matt will take the low.
I think both of those are acceptable outcomes for those guys based on that board. All right. Matt's creeped ahead of Ryan thanks to that one hand. So he paid. So I guess he pays it off for the same reason that he might bluff at it, because a lot of random draws don't get there. King 10 gets it. I'm confused.
I don't know. I don't know if I mean, you gotta really. I mean, hearts bricked,
Yeah.
the low bricked, so we're bluff catching versus this one. We can busted hearts and busted low draws, or namely busted heart low draw combos. And I
Right.
don't think Ryan. I don't think he had a heart in his hand.
But he had the heart draw.
No.
I thought Ryan was the one with the heart draw. Didn't he have Jack high hearts?
Yeah, Jack 60 hammer. I don't know.
think
I'm gonna
he-
get all messed up now.
Yeah.
Brick and bars,
Sorry,
though.
we're like going down that.
Now
It's hard when you can't just like rewind.
There's so many goddamn cards out there. Moving on.
Oh, well, you know what, though? That's the other thing, is sometimes, like, if you reverse that, Ryan is probably capable of, betting not the nut straight there. Right? Like, because
Yeah.
so many draws miss. Which is why I thought he could have potentially bet. Because a lot of things missed.
But we're never value betting two pair there. Never.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think, if he was betting, I don't think he would be value betting two pair.
But
I think he'd be bluffing.
Yeah,
like Sammy,
trying to get like Queen 9 to fold.
turning his hand into a bluff. Yeah,
someone
yeah.
who rivered Queen 9.
like a better two pair
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like trying to get Queen, like Queen Jack. I think wouldn't be.
I don't know. Maybe that's just. I was going in that headspace. Whatever.
Ace, Ace, 6, turn King. Can't see Jeff's cards. River Jack.
Jeff probably has quads. Just kidding.
Jeff picks it up.
Brandon's down to 250 big ones.
Dollar,
Do you ever
dollar.
use that? Do you
Big
call
ones?
them big ones?
No, I gotta wait for the big ones in I think like 04, 05.
Oh yeah. What do you use now?
I try to keep it all in Ks. I try to have all the Ks.
So
And-
0.24K.
0.24K. Yeah, 1.1K.
Big earn F9. Big tournaments in Reno this week. I would love. That's right. Running Up Reno's coming up, and I'm pretty sure
I thought that was already going on.
that's on the 16th. 5 days.
Well, I know I'll be.
So if you want to hang out with Ryan Leonis, or Jake,
Or Jake,
me,
or Brent.
I'll be there.
As will Jason Somerville and company.
And Kevin Martin, a
Kevin
bunch
Martin.
of Survivor guys are going to be there. I'm gonna do my best to get any of those guys to come to Stones.
Nice.
Boston Rob,
Yeah,
he's good people. Yeah, no, he's there all the time.
Yeah.
Boston Rob and I went to go see Neighbors 2 together.
He was at my main event final table last year for some time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I like him. He's cool. It's all right, dude. You know he has like 4 daughters. He's got 4 kids, all daughters, all like 12 and under, I think. So lots of like princess stuff
God,
going on.
he needs the money.
Yeah.
Scott's gonna limp in the Queen 9-6-3 double suited. Matt makes it 30 to go with the King Jack 10-8.
Oh, Matt's getting saucy. He's
Matt's
like,
tired of not having good
Ryan's
cards.
not in this one. I'm playing.
Well, plus he probably figures if he opens it.
Also
he
in
opens
position
it,
with a
push
nice
Ryan out.
high only hand or a decent high only hand.
Flop is King 4-3, 2 clubs.
Brendan's high-fiving himself, hoping someone bets so that he can bet the pot.
Please put some money in. Please
Yeah.
put some money in.
It looks like it checks around and it,
King
wow.
comes off, giving Matt trip kings.
Yeah. Now Brendan might actually get some action. The people.
There's 120 in the
He's
pot.
got second nut low.
Matt looks like he bets about 2/3 pot. That's 75.
I feel like Brendan. Wow. That's tough. I guess you're folding or raising. You're not gonna call here.
You can call.
You peel and hope that somebody else calls behind. I mean, you still have like the flush.
We have flush draw. We have high and low outs.
Yeah.
He gets away.
Maybe if he was in Scott's position, he continues.
Scott folds clubs as well. Good fold by Scott.
If we don't curse, do we get $200? I don't know. I mean,
If
you can have
that
$200
was
from
the
anybody
case,
who's
then
handing.
I know I am not getting $200 every time. I know why Veronica is not getting $200. Did you watch any of the stream, the 5-5 stream with her and Jonathan Little?
A little, yeah.
A little.
I was
gotta go back
jealous.
and watch it.
I said a little.
A little.
Not on purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go back and watch that one. I heard it was really, really good.
Yeah, and they got wine and everything. I guess the key is that you just have to have like enter big name in this seat, and then whoever's in this seat gets wine.
Justin, can we confirm that Veronica Brill was?
So basically, you have to sign a contract. If you sign a contract, then you can totally drink wine in the booth. But if you don't sign a contract, you're just like you're not big time enough.
Bro, I thought you and I were, a couple classy broads, and we should be allowed to drink
Classy
wine.
broads. We're gonna sit here, watch some PLO8,
Yeah.
enjoy some, red wine,
and talk about Desperate Housewives.
Right, sure.
Like, God.
Only season 1.
Only season, of course. So 2 limpers, and Ryan's gonna make it 30 to go with the Queen 7-5 double suited. Brendan with Kings
Oh, this looks like
says yes. King 9-4 1 suit.
potential PLO.
We got a dangler.
high hand. Yeah. I mean, you're not a big fan of.
I like high only hands. I mean,
Yeah, I
seven-
don't hate it. I don't.
Queen
I
7-5
actually
is
like
a little
high only
ambitious,
hands.
maybe, but I think it's fine. We have position. We are the aggressor. Scott makes call 9-7-7-4. 3-way action. Ace 6 deuce.
Eesh.
The hard thing is when the ace and the deuce are out there. I mean, generally one of those cards counterfeit someone's low drop. When they're both out there, people make a lot of 2 pairs, and it's hard for people to get away with
Yeah.
that on the flop, if ever. Turn 10.
You hate it if you're Brendan, though. I mean, like the only time you like it is if the turn is a club, maybe. But yeah, it's
If
just
this
like the worst.
checks again, Ryan does bet 75 and say if it checks to Ryan, Ryan's probably going to have to bluff at this. He does. We would expect
Bet
most of
75
the
has-
ace deuces would have bet turn, would have led into him when it checks to him. He can freely bluff at this.
Scott can't believe it. I don't know.
Scott's like, how am I not flopping sets? I've had like 11 pairs, the last 3 hands.
Scott might find a way to be tempted by his 4-7 low. At this point, Sally still has cards. She has a set of 10s.
I like that Scott is consulting the beer. What would the beer do? Get some more booze in the system, and then make a more educated, more informed decision.
Yeah, he looks like really frustrated. I don't know that this is super hard because, I mean, you don't really have. I guess you have an 8 will give you a straight. And you have like a weird low, right?
There might be some question. Oh, they got the floor coming over. There might be some question whether or not.
Maybe he thinks he checked.
I think so. We're unclear.
Remember though, too, at this point, Sally's hand is not up there. She has 10-10-3-3, so she turned a set of 10s, which actually makes this even more interesting.
I think Scott should be taking this opportunity to drink more beer.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of great beers here.
There's a lot of great beers here.
Like, I mean,
If you're not taking advantage of like all this like free beer drink equity time, then you're just missing value.
did she play? She is. Yeah, she
We're
has a
back
set
into
of
the
10s.
action
Okay,
here,
there we
trying
go.
to see what's going on. So Sally flops a set of 10s. The flop was ace 10. No,
Okay.
it's ace 6.
I think the turn is a 10.
Turn's
yeah.
a 10. So,
So that board is inverted. or
put your
whatever.
thing down, flip it, and reverse it.
Either way, they checked the flop. So she either flopped the set and checked it, and everybody checked, or she got to the set when everybody checked.
Now
it.
Ryan officially has a standing bet of 75, which I don't know if he would have made 3-way.
Sally.
Sally says
Calls.
more. No, she,
No, isn't that 175?
that's a raise.
Oh, you said you said 175.
I said more.
Okay, so she makes it 200. No, I thought you said Ryan bet 175.
No.
Yeah,
I was endorsing beer. It's different.
Yeah. Apparently, I need to
Ghost of
endorse
him.
beer more. Yeah, so Ryan's not going to continue once
No,
somebody
you
plays
took
back
one
in him.
stab at it. Like most all those like low, like ace deuces are gonna lead turn after flop checks through. So
Yeah,
when it
it's
checks
reasonable
when it
to
checks
stab
in,
at
he's
it.
like, all right, I'm gonna pick up all the free cheese now. Put a bet out there, unless someone turned a set of 10s or something.
Unless someone who's got great hair turns a set of 10s.
Usually pay extra for that, Jake.
And then Sally's like, I'm here.
It's good to see Sally win a pot. Sally's been pretty card dead this stream. Haven't seen her have a whole lot to start with.
Yeah.
Matt's got 4 to a royal flush in his hand.
Nice.
Blocking
You know,
himself.
the toughest part about Matt's day is that he's wearing a Dolphins hat.
Oh, too soon. Too soon.
Somebody tell Ray that, too. Big time Dolphins fans. What's with people in Northern California being Dolphins fans?
It's a very diverse area. We
I
got
know.
Dolphins fans, we got Steeler fans.
Ah,
Ryan makes a 20 to go with the Ace Jack 6 Dewey. Hollywood tips the dealer and condemns his cards to hell. Scott makes a call with the Queen
Dolphins.
10
Yeah,
5
there you go,
deuce.
Dolphins. I'd like to see a situation where Scott is allowed to also play Hollywood's hand. So Scott's always playing 2 hands.
Ryan flops bottom 2 here.
And you kind of hate it.
We're not in love with it.
Yeah. It's like, bottom 2 is the worst, because you're like, okay, now I don't have a low draw. What's interesting, though, is Scott pretty much whiffs.
It's good to get through.
Eagles. Is that the chat? You spell it?
E-A-G-L-S. Eagles.
The Eagles.
Is it Eagles?
All right, it's PLO8, guys. I mean, you know that because you're here. I think somebody earlier in the chat was like, oh, I haven't been able to watch it for a month, and it's PLO8. I think they meant that as like a bad thing. I would take that as an exciting.
You're welcome.
Yeah, wow. I haven't been able to watch it in a month, and I'm super
He
excited
just finds a way.
that it's PLO8. He just finds a way. He just Jurassic Parked that.
I like it.
It's a bit out there. We're having a good time. I think we could have a better time if we were playing, but somebody's got to be in the booth. Maybe we can convince Ryan and Jeff to switch with us.
Right. You guys sitting here and disagree.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Talk about, hockey, hoodie contests. Jeff, Ace 339. A lot of people, their benchmark for a playable hand is a suited ace with a wheel card.
With a wheel card.
And then everything else you have in your hand at that point is
Like whatever.
completely irrelevant, which is fine, I think, at a certain point. If you're only going to play 2 cards from your hand, then don't really continue unless you make the hand that those 2 cards give you, right? Like nut flush.
We must improve.
Yeah.
Flop it's 10-7-5 rainbow.
Glenn's all up in there. I know enough about PLO to not play it.
Rick and Barstow.
It's a very disciplined move.
You just gotta get out there and play, bro.
You just got to do
Don't
it.
fight it.
Just come on down, Rick.
Don't fight it. Just let it
Take
happen.
that short 5 to 6 hour drive. He doesn't really live in Barstow.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I guess Barstow's not that bad. I was thinking Baker for some reason.
Oh my God, that's out there.
Okay.
Turn ace hits Jeff and Glenn.
Glenn's got 2 pair now.
Hollywood's got 2 deuces in hand, so Hollywood's blocking the nut low. But
yeah,
with
but
no
there's
hot-
no way Hollywood is
got an
like,
inside
if I
straight
got the
draw."
nut low blocker, so I'm gonna pound it.
If we could snow, maybe just like take a lot of deuces in our hand. And just,
I don't think you want to play it heads up, but I suppose like if you have a shot to bluff it at a pot like that, then it's possible. 6.5 hours.
hop, skip,
That's
and a
not
jump.
too bad. I make that drive a lot, actually.
So I might have told the story on the last stream. I don't recall if I did or not. One of the last running up Reno like 2 years ago or so.
Okay.
Lunch was make day 2, and I get like a message, like a Twitter message, private message on Twitter, from I forget what the handle was, and it's like, oh hey, these the players at my day 2 table draw. Do you know anyone? And so like scrolling through the names. Okay, well he's a reg, he's this and that and the other like that, and like Ryan I see Ryan Leonis on there. I'm like, oh like. Ryan, I know he's a good mixed games player. I never played really much Hold'em with him. I don't know how he is or not, and then a short rundown on all the others. But I know he's a mixed games player. But I don't know much else about him. And he took me like, this is Ryan Leone's
Yeah.
podcast.
As you were telling me that story, I think that the last time we did PLO8,
Yeah.
when Ryan was here,
Okay.
they may have told that story. But yeah, that's pretty great. It's very important to put people's names in your phone. No, it's actually. Or just make sure you have friends with
I'm just glad I
people
didn't- I
who
didn't
are
start
totally
talking.
happy. Yeah, exactly.
like-
what you had to say about him was not bad.
Yeah.
Oh, Ryan
His
Leone
mixing great, but his
is
hole in game
terrible.
Fish. Doesn't know how bad he is.
And he smells. Yeah. It's a good thing you didn't go there.
Yeah.
He does not smell, by the way. Ryan Leone.
Officially official.
Yeah.
Look at our chip stack size there. Matt's got 1,500. Ryan's right behind him with 1,100.
Brendan's working his way back up to. I'm not really sure what he started with. Is this buy-in here too?
According to our starting sheet here, Brendan started the table. We started the stream. Brendan had about 800
Okay.
when he started the stream.
All right. So he's
So-
down like 100,
Down a few bones.
150. I guess if you're going to be down, 150 is a decent number. I mean, PLO8, PLO, they can get kind of wild, kind of quick. Some pretty big pots. He did get quartered in that one big pot.
The big pot, the multi-way with Ryan
and Scott. Yeah. So that was actually, I think, the biggest pot or biggest chip swing we've seen so far.
Ryan limps in under the gun. Scott over limps. Matt completes or checks his option, small blind.
Brendan
Check her option. Yeah,
Same diff.
same. Ace 9-7, two spades. Both Brendan and Scott flop flush draws. Nut flush draw and second nut flush draw, respectively. Brendan does have the 5 deuce low draw.
It feels like a hand Brendan can push a little
Brendan's
bit.
gonna push, yeah. We should throttle up on this hand a little bit. Also has the inside straight draw with the 5-8. You can mix straight with the 6.
Yeah, in this spot, since Scott has the nut flush draw and there's no made low, he's always gonna peel, I imagine.
I concur.
The turn
Scott
is gonna
makes a
really
6
make
line.
up Scott's.
Brendan
I like it.
leads and Scott raises. Scott might just.
Brendan's probably gonna get it all in.
Brendan might. Oh, he's just gonna call.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean. Oh,
Turn spade, and now
wow.
splat. Here goes the chips.
I mean, this is a spot where Brendan. There's no way Brendan's folding.
No, because we can still make a low here. We have the second
you
nut
have to think,
high,
yeah.
and we can make a low.
And he has
But
so
it-
few chips. I think I could see him totally making it. Was he just gonna flat and then hope the low gets there?
Well, then you can shove river.
Oh,
We-
okay.
we
So
can't-
he's
we
thinking.
can't get it all in right now.
Oh,
and there it
wow,
is.
Saved him.
Make a flush, make a low, and now Brendan will probably just lead for his whole stack.
Yeah, the rest of his stack. Yeah. And then Scott's gonna snap call, and be a little bit bummed that the low got there.
So maybe the graphics off as far as how deep his stack was, because there's 390 in the
He had like
pot.
700 to start the hand, I think, somewhere near
Okay.
700. So, 'cause
Leads
he-
for 175. All in.
yeah,
He should get a snap call.
I mean,
Chop it
there's-
up, kids.
Brendan is definitely in the spot where you're like, I can't possibly be beat both ways, can I? Right? You've got.
If you get beat both ways in that hand, you're just
Yeah,
like,
if you have king,
all right.
if you're up against like king random deuce 3,
yeah. Poker
I guess
didn't-
king ace
Poker
D3.
didn't go well for us today. We're going home.
yeah.
Or you buy in for the biggest stack and just go on full monkey tilt and just say pot for the next like 11
Right, because
straights.
you've just read this new PLO book by Jake called
Yeah, Pot It to Win It.
Pot It to Win It. Pot It, nonstop pot, whatever kind of variation of just keep potting.
Yeah. Just keep potting, just keep potting. What do we do? Just keep potting.
It's like Glenn ordered a salad. Great job, Glenn. I don't know. I feel like you do like a classic like baseball announcer. All right, Glenn with the salad.
Just
He's
that
got a
outside.
water with a straw. I don't see a lime in that water. Completely irrelevant.
Scott, Queen 7-4 Dewey.
Glenn limps. Is there? It looks like there's a straddle because the limp is $10. Hollywood. If he's got aces, he's playing them. Probably. I've never. Yeah, he's potting.
Yes. Pots for 60.
And I don't know that he'll get protection. Well,
Straddle is on. Brendan waking up in the straddle of the King 9-6 deuce. Ugh.
yeah. I don't think. Yeah. Scott's. As soon as I was about to say, I don't think he's gonna get any action. Scott's like counting out
You
chips.
just count. You can't fold 4 quad draws and a flush draw pre.
Scott might be thinking,
I know Hollywood has aces.
yeah. And if I can beat aces on this flop, I'm going for it. If I can't beat aces on this flop, I'm not. And I don't.
King 5-4.
Yeah. What's weird though is like Hollywood could check just because I assume that he's tight on the tighter side.
Well, Hollywood
It looks
has
like-
no low. There's already 2 low cards. We need to be bombing it for Hollywood. Now that we're in love with, like putting a ton of money in with aces here, but we should be betting here to protect our equity.
Yeah, I mean, and you're not going to get called by like random draws. The shitty part is like, or excuse me, wow, I'm not getting my $200.
There it goes.
Dang
You were
it.
so close.
So close.
Until
I
you
almost
said
made it
shitty.
halfway. Dang it.
God.
Ugh.
Oh, you're the rage.
Maybe if we had some wine.
Yeah, if we had some wine, Justin.
Maybe we'd just be in here clanking glasses.
What do you think about? Okay, so Hollywood when he bet, right, flicks it out like he doesn't care. Do you read anything into this? Like
I've tried to get
I'm-
away.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not
Unless
saying
got
you should read anything into
very
it, but I'm just
specific
curious.
Read on a player where he always does this one way, and I mean, like the way people put on the chips can be like one of their like biggest tells, but you gotta be so specific because some players will slide their chips, when they're strong. Other players slide their chips when they're weak, and then and that might change game to game, So I tried to not depend on that so much.
My guess is that if Poker Boss is in this seat in the booth, I think the key is if you sign the contract, right? So you can negotiate that with Justin ahead of time,
If that's officially official, then
and then and then everyone's just going to be clamoring to be in the booth with you. We'll put 4 chairs in here, and we're all going to be drinking wine with Poker Boss in the booth.
limp pot poker going on.
Tends to be sort of like an epidemic in PLO games. When someone starts limping early position, everybody likes to call behind.
Ryan doesn't believe in limp pot poker, nor do I. He makes it 30 to go. Brendan makes a quick call with ace 6-4 deuce. He's got 1 suit, got the ace deuce. Glenn, Sally, and Jeff come along, and we are 5 way to a flop.
Yeah, which is exactly what Ryan wanted when he 3-bets.
King, queen, queen.
Wow, Sally,
Sally flops kings full of queens.
all of the bone.
The problem is with the queen in her hand, she's blocking trips, and it's gonna be harder for her to get value from the case queen, which no one has. 6 comes off. Doesn't help anyone. Ryan can't bluff into this many people.
Yeah, I don't see
Glenn picks up a
Sally
flush
making
draw.
a ton of money here.
Glenn leads his flush draw.
Yeah. Poker Boss has it on the nose. Your hand looks great, Sally, but you're not getting any action. Whoa! Somebody called? Oh,
Glenn led and Sally flatted. Or
okay.
Sally
So Glenn
raised.
leads his flush draw, I guess. What's interesting, though, is I think you're more likely to get action from a hand like jacks, aces, tens, if you bet that flop with a full house, than you are if you're checking and then suddenly betting the turn. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. A lot of times people tend to not believe you when you lead that flop.
It depends on your image. I mean, if you
I got Sally
if you're
in
stabbing a lot at a lot of little pots,
Right.
hammering at little pots.
Matt probably would get looked up a little bit more
Matt
often
would get
than
looked up.
Sally would.
Ryan's definitely getting looked up. Matt
Yeah.
would get looked up. Brendan can get looked up. I don't think Sally, Hollywood, or Jeff is getting looked up nearly as often as some of these other players that play more hands are going to get looked up.
Yeah. It's not a terrible. Okay, so Glenn only had like a 9-high flush draw, but if you have a flush draw and a low draw on the turn, it's not a terrible spot to bet. If you
We
have
didn't
like,
have a low draw though.
oh, there was no low. Okay.
King, queen, queen, flop. There's no.
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody said Glenn going for low. I guess he was kidding. I forgot what the flop was. She should have tanked a little bit more. You know what though? Like, I mean, there's never like an exact science to it, right?
Dice Gone Funny. This is High Low 5-5 PLO8. Brought to you by Stone's Gambling Hall, located right off I-80 in Citrus Heights.
Gambling Hall in beautiful Citrus Heights.
Scott's gonna make it 15 to go with the 10-5-4 deuce, 3 hearts, because he loves it.
This hand is Scott approved.
And Ryan's playing the 9-5-4 deuce. So 10-5-4 deuce versus 9-5-4 deuce. 3 hearts versus 3 diamonds. I don't know. They both thought they both knew the 6-3 was gonna flop, so they're gonna take the 5-4 deuce and just go for it.
And Glenn has all of the. Actually, they have the 5s. So Glenn might think he has the 5 blockers, but he does not.
How do both Scott and Ryan know that the 6-3 is gonna flop and to play the 5-4 deuce? They're just
No,
wizards.
maybe they're just hoping, and then they're happy to see it happen. Oh wow, there you go. Now no one's going anywhere, and
Both players make nut low here with the 4 deuce. They all have the same straight draw. This is going for chops. Scott's 80% equity for the high. How does that happen? How is that?
10 high.
Oh, 10. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, just 10 high.
Yeah.
Wow. 88% equity for
This
10
is one of those
high.
spots. You just have them because you have the exact same hand. So the only card that can come on the turn or the river that gives Ryan any more of the pot than he's already getting.
5-4 deuce or 7, and they can chop.
Well, no, but a 9 is the only hand where
Oh,
he
yeah,
gets
yeah.
more than Scott
He
does.
can 3-quarter him with a 9, and we chop with a 5-4 deuce.
Yeah. Any other card, Scott's getting 3/4. Whoa!
Oh, here we go. Ryan has no high.
And Scott's never
And so
going
it's
to
gonna
fold, so
blast
it's
a
like
low.
it's interesting because
All in
now he
and a
just
call.
really does need to dodge. I mean, it's more likely a chop than anything, but
River 3
oh, so he does win with 10 high.
and 10 high.
It's going to take the high.
The 10-5.
So you can look at Scott's face right now. That's the face of somebody who just won a pot, half of a big pot with 10 high.
And here's where it pays off. You play all those hands, and you
Yeah.
eventually you get value with a 10 high.
Well, that's a good spot, right? Ryan's aggressive, and so like you wouldn't criticize somebody for playing the low aggressive because you're trying to get a fold there. Right?
Yeah, we're trying to push that marginal high hand.
You're not trying to show down with 9 high and the low draw.
No.
So he runs into the exact same low draw, so Scott's never going to fold regardless of what his high
And
is.
then in the end, both they're both uncounterfeitable low.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're never losing half the pot. We're just and both players Ryan got straight outs. And then all
What a good. That's just like
you got 10 high, bro.
yeah. And you can't even really believe it.
10 high like a ball.
Pretty stoked. I think I would feel pretty good about everything at that moment if I'm 3/4ing a hand with 10 high.
That's sick.
Yeah. It's a pretty big pot too. Probably the biggest. That's probably the biggest single win for someone. Although with that 3-way pot bigger,
Yeah.
'cause I don't think Brendan had very much.
He got half. Ryan got half of 2,600 and change in the main.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
And
so
then this
Scott's
is
pulling back 3/4
3/4
of
of
like
12.
1,000. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
Still pretty great. Great job,
The
Scott.
10 high nuts. This is why you play all these hands, kids. So eventually you get your value from your 10 high.
Yeah.
From your 10-5 or
Your
high.
sick value from your 10 high. Well, that is a lesson, right? This is one of the reasons why you probably want to make sure that you have some kind of high. You know? I mean, Scott, in this specific situation, Scott didn't get 3/4, but he could just as easily be in a situation where he's getting 3/4.
Yeah, and most of the
with
money when the
a
money
pair
goes
of
in like
tens
that,
or
yeah.
something, or whatever, whatever the high card, a jack, right? So you could have a jack with a deuce 4,
Yeah.
and that would have been all it took to take
Yeah.
it.
And or someone uses rivers a pair. So, I mean anything like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So if you're calling with just the lows, sometimes that can get you into trouble. In this case, it
Well, they also
helps him a lot.
Yeah, we've got straight wrap in that spot too. I mean, both players are thinking like.
Oh yeah, you love your hand.
Both players aren't in love with like like oh shit, I could be getting 3/4 here.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you gotta imagine. If,
More often than not, you assume you have half the
Yeah.
pot locked up when you have the nut low, right?
Yeah.
Unless
And
somebody
we're
is doing
uncounterfeitable,
something
yeah.
very obvious to show
Someone
you.
could have
you know.
ace jack for you, and then we're in
Right.
a world of hurt. You know,
Yeah,
it's the
yeah,
same
for
thing.
sure. Like earlier when Hollywood had 2 pair and the nut low, like the exact hand that beat Scott.
Yeah, exactly.
This time he's on the better side of it.
Double suited aces now for Ryan.
Oh, and then Sally's gotta love her hand. She's already in there, right? She just limped though.
She limped the ace jack 5 deuce.
She will call the raise almost 100%.
Brendan ace 10-4-4 suited ace. A couple wheel cards.
She's definitely going to call, especially since Brendan called.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think she would have folded either way, but
No.
still.
No.
But that is one of the reasons why you limp, if you want to see the flop for cheap, I guess. Let somebody else raise.
Brendan flops middle set here. 7-4 deuce. Sally flops an ace-5 low. Ryan bricks the
Brennan's gonna go
aces.
75.
Bet a 75
Is that slightly under pot, right?
or 80. It's a pot size bet 80. Bet was 80.
Oh, 85. So he did.
Graphic error. Ryan did not bet 85 there. Brendan bet 80. Pot was 80. Brendan pots it for 80. Sally folds the
that's
ace-5
the
low. No high. And Ryan probably gonna fold here as well. We have backdoor diamonds, backdoor clubs. We do have ace-8 for low. But we're really not you're trying to like take all our 8 lows to showdown.
You're not getting a ton of people. You're not getting anyone to fold.
Yeah.
Right? In this situation, because if they don't have a made low, they have a pretty good low draw, right?
Yeah.
They have a set. They could have like open ended or something. I don't
And
think
out of position here, and it's just never profitable call. It's good fold by Ryan. Good hand for Brendan to get some chips back.
Yeah. Now Glenn is
PLO10.
bottom of the
Jesus.
chip list. I'm gonna grab a drink of water.
Very well.
Water. Thank you, by the way, for
course.
getting this water. So, that's why, by the way, Sean, if you are ever in the booth, you really can't go wrong with whoever is in the booth. You can probably go wrong if I'm in the booth with you, but everyone else, you'd be fine. Be fine.
You can't run terribly bad in the company you're gonna pick it or find at Stones.
Yeah. The only thing that happens in here is if they're playing PLO8 out there and you're stuck in here, sometimes you're a little jealous.
No.
Just a little. Just a smidge.
2 limpers, 3 limpers.
Ryan is almost certainly going to play. Did he
And
make
Ryan,
it 25?
He will open. Yeah, he opens to 25 with a King Jack 10 9.
Scott just says yep. With ace deuce 4-9. 9 high spades.
If we're
How
gonna
much do you
limp
think Hollywood tips in a
in
session?
folds, it's
Yeah.
gotta be north. It's gotta be like 20, 25 bucks. But he's Hollywood.
Yeah. Part of the package. Ooh.
Matt flops the show. The problem is there's already ace deuce low for Scott. Already got there.
Yeah, and so he's probably getting $0 back, right? Everything, they're going to chop up what he already is in the middle. I don't see a scenario where Sally calls with only the second nut low.
Now, Scott, the 5 comes off. Give Scott a straight. If no one flopped a flush, no one made one on the turn.
Yeah, he's in a good spot.
He's in a really good spot. His straight might be good for high as well. It's not in this case, of course. Matt makes it 250 to go. Call by Scott. Board pairs.
Interesting if Scott pots here. Matt's still going to
Blast it, Scott.
Yeah. Pot is 605. He's got 4, 5, 6. He's got like 800. Checks.
Checks a Matt. Matt bets the pot. Or no. Bets 425.
Yeah, and then
Call.
I mean, Scott was never going to fold. I think that the only
No, of course.
only way that Scott could potentially, I don't think Matt is going to fold either.
If the board, if he's
I guess
betting
board
and then
pairs
calling
and then
board pair,
Scott
if
pots.
Scott would pot for 600, it's gonna put Matt in a real shitty spot.
It's the only
Matt's
spot
got
where he's
no
gonna,
emergency low,
yeah.
so we lose to the boats. And the way Scott played the hand, it
Check
checks
the
through,
flop could
and
easily
then-
be a set on that
and
flush
then
board.
leads the turn, just calls a raise, and then leads when the board pairs.
Right.
It puts Matt in a really
Matt
bad
could
spot.
find a fold there.
Matt could find a fold.
He could also find a call.
He could also. Frenchie78 thinks Matt Damon has answered the second question, like Chris Moneymakerson.
Matt
I
Damon.
still like your answer. For the
Yeah,
actor.
I'm just guessing. Obviously, Matt Damon plays poker too, or at least some poker. But I think James Woods at this point is like a staple at poker tables, at the World Series in LA or Borgata or wherever. He's around a lot. I've played with James Woods at least like 4 times at this point. He plays all the
Jesus.
Omaha games and stuff like that. Yeah. Luckily, his table talk isn't similar to his Twitter.
Okay.
I followed him on Twitter for about 5 minutes.
I was gonna say.
For about 5 minutes. I like him personally. We've never had any discussion about.
Anything.
Oh yeah, I've had generally good interactions with him. I guess I can't really say that I like him personally.
Okay.
But
I think
yeah.
we're on this. We're on
Yeah.
similar. King 6-3, 2 clubs. Scott flops a pair, a flush draw, no low draw. Turn 4. Scott's now open-ended, playing the 6-5, and still has his club draw. Hollywood has a made ace 7 low, but and 2 pair with a 6-4, and he's gonna
It's an
lead
interesting spot for him to bet.
or bet, I should say. That's 35.
Is Glenn getting up in there?
Glenn is getting all up in there.
He's got what? This can't be right. He really has ace jack 9-4. Oh,
Well, he
it's
has
a
the
deuce.
ace 4.
Yeah,
He has-
okay.
Well, he has ace 4 low.
Yeah. So but see,
No.
like that's a deuce.
Yeah.
So he had the nut low.
Oh, the turn was a deuce, river a 4.
Yeah. That's
Graphic-
why when we went back to the flop, it
Graphics
made a
are
lot more
wacky.
sense that Hollywood's pounding the nut low with a pair. Well, not even a pair, right? Hollywood's pounding the nut low with ace 7, 6-4. What?
So the turn was a deuce. The turn was a deuce, so Hollywood. He's
Looks
a
like
bet
Hollywood
low,
scoops.
call low. No, well,
Oh, no, he gets 3/4 because he has a nut low but he has a high. So whatever the board is, Hollywood has the high hand. So he obviously has like a pair, a 7, a 6. The 6 is on them. So he has a
they're-
nut low with a pair of 6s. Obviously, we'll confirm that if we get back to the flop.
yeah, Hollywood gets the high.
But that
They chop-
4
they
of
chop
hearts
low.
that's showing up on the turn is not what the
It's not the
actual
turn
turn.
card. Turn card was
The
a
deuce
deuce.
of diamonds is the turn card.
Makes much
And it looks
more
like
sense.
face card on the river maybe paired the board like another king.
Oh wow.
And so Hollywood wins with kings and 6s for the high. And then they chop the low. So Hollywood makes a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Great job,
It's
Hollywood.
up to $1,200 in the stack.
I think that's where a lot, like if you're going to play at a table where everybody is equally good at PLO8, the places where you're going to make your money is where you're 3/4, right? Like, because you're probably not scooping a good player very often. Maybe you are, depend if you're getting it all in pre. But if they're calling a big bet on the river, I think let's see. Charles Bryant. Sounds like the hoodie is still up for grabs.
Watbry in the chat, making the appearance.
Biggarn says Michael Caine. That'd be cool. I'd have a beer with Michael Caine. I don't think he'd have a beer with me, but whatever.
Don't give him the option. Just like just like park it next to him. Hey, buddy. I saw someone with aces a second ago. There with Hollywood with the ace.
Hollywood.
10,
If Hollywood's pounding it on the button, he probably has a big hand. The BB-8. Did you check out that Star Wars trailer?
The new one. I haven't actually watched it yet. I saw it in my feed on my social media, but haven't actually taken the time to watch it. No spoilers.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Scott McSkull, Ace King 530 flop is jack, jack, jack.
Oh. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you check to me and I have aces here, I'm probably betting. I think I might be like the most unlucky guy in the world if you have a jack here. So I feel like I have the best hand. 95% of the time, I'm gonna have the best hand. Right?
I concur.
Actually, not even 90, way more than 95%. Up like 200. Hello, Watbry.
The Watbry. He's the best.
Who's Surf? Who's nickname? Is that Scott's nickname? Surf? If I was to guess, I would say the person who looks the most like a surfer would either be Ryan or Scott. And I know Ryan probably is not a surfer, so I would assume Scott.
Glenn. That shirt of Glenn's says, I was
Surfer?
born to like ride some waves.
Yeah.
Ride some waves or plant some plants, one of the two.
Plant some plants. Plant something.
$10 straddle, 5-5-10.
Different throw equals throw. Ah, okay.
Glenn's gonna limp in.
As is tradition.
Scott comes along as well. Queen, queen, 8, deuce, double suited. Hollywood, 6-7-4 tray, ain't gonna play.
Ain't gonna play. See, you're rhyming again. I like it.
Wizard. Ace,
Selling
king,
the
4,
button.
3. Says yes.
Yeah. Four-way action to the flop. Ryan's in there with king jack 7 deuce. Is that right?
And he is straddled.
Ah, okay.
Top set for Scott.
Great job, Scott.
Glenn's got a flush draw and a straight draw
And a straight flush.
and the
draw.
straight flush of the 6 of spades. Would be quite a card. Scott bets 50. Pot size bet.
5-0. Can you zoom in on Glenn's hat? I think that's a Grateful Dead hat. I mean, if I'm totally stereotyping. If I had to guess what kind of hat Glenn would be wearing, I would say Grateful Dead. But it looks like
So Glenn's ace 4 gets
Dead.
counterfeited for the low draw, but he does turn top 2, no good. He
Yeah.
can river an ace for high. He also his 7-4 low is qualifying right now.
and
6.
he makes it straight.
Glenn makes a straight. Glenn's got it all.
Yeah.
Glenn wins all the monies.
And Scott is not gonna dig that.
Straight. And a 7-4
What? Okay,
low.
so what feeling is worse? The fact that you just lost with a 7, or the fact that the low that is scooping you is a 7? A 7-4.
Well,
And you were so close because you have the live deuce, right? Like you could have theoretically had the low.
could have. It
on
was
this hand.
It was really, really real.
Yeah. I think all of those are equally worse or equally bad.
It doesn't make us feel warm and fuzzy inside.
Flopping a set in PLO high-low is kind of annoying if it's a low set, because you're typically dealing with a lot of wheels and low straights because everybody's got
Yeah.
the 2, 3, 4, 5
flopping low
combos.
sets, so we're just like
Yeah.
dead on
Set
on
of
arrival.
queens on a flush draw board, and the flush doesn't get there, you feel okay, but
But when 2 low card, when it comes ace 6,
Yeah.
we're like never scooping. We're like never scooping. We're getting
Always.
half that pot. Like on queen, when queen 8 deuce, turn to
Oh,
ace
right,
river
right, so-
6.
yeah, so-
we're like never. We're like getting half our money back. Like
well,
all
that's
the
part of the
time.
reason too why sometimes if I flop a big set like that, I wouldn't put a ton of money in until the turn, and then it depends on what the turn is, right? Like you're not gonna make
You need a
much
big
money.
card
You don't
on the
want to
turn.
risk a ton of money, right? Exactly. You want a low draw going into the turn, so people will pay you with a draw. But no, you don't want the low to get there, right? Wow, thanks.
Dice gone funny.
Flopping a straight in high-low is danger zone 2. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you kind of want to have like. I would be happier flopping like a really big draw
Oh, absolutely.
than like the bottom end of the straight
We
or
don't want
like a low set.
We don't want to flop in low sets. Low sets
Yeah.
just like we just lose like all the monies.
I can't believe I admitted that.
Ace 8-6 for Brendan under the gun. Opens for the pot. It's got a suited ace. Got some oopsie low card.
When
oopsie
is
low outs.
Veronica, the next Veronica and Friends, is it going to be
She needs
08?
to like, get more
Is that
friends
gonna
first.
be?
I heard. Like,
Oh wow, she needs to get more friends first.
I kid.
Ew. Shots actually fired.
Ryan's got ace jack 3-3. Got a qualifying jack. Ace 3 for low. I'm sorry, qualifying jack. Sorry, suited jack.
Qualifying game.
Qualifying
What is
jack.
that, like a Tony G thing?
And 3-bet now. Tell me, do you really want to love me forever?
Oh. That's awesome.
3-bet to
I didn't intend to do that
125.
at first, and then I went with it.
And
Uh,
3-bet to 105.
Brendan,
Or 85.
Brendan is gonna say yes. I want all of this action. You can't. I don't think he's gonna fold.
Rip it.
Yeah,
Why
I think
not?
he's gonna rip it. I think he's got 390 behind. It's 65 to call. You could always flat, but I mean, do you flat here? Like, how many flops are you confident calling on? You know, I mean, I guess there are flops. Yeah.
We're trying to figure out what the pot is.
Well, it's 85. It's 265, 255
255 plus the
whatever.
trail.
Yeah.
Should be like 270, right?
I don't think Scott's going to continue unless Scott feels real gambly. Real gambly.
280. 4-bet to 280.
You should only 3-bet with ace 2 3 4. Really? I mean, I don't know. I think you should make people think you're only 3-betting with ace deuce 3.
We have to. You have to have some 3-bet bluffs.
And I mean, of the hands you could potentially have, ace jack 3 3 is all right. I mean, you're more likely to take it down if that's ace jack deuce deuce.
I was
right?
just gonna say deuce deuce is a much better card to bluff with, or combination to bluff with.
Yeah.
And Ryan says, you know, I came here to see some flops and play some cards.
Yeah.
Smash it and grab it, all in a call.
A jack right away. Ooh. Ooh. And nothing really going on there. No low. And, ace is
And
gonna
Brendan's aces will scoop.
That's probably why Ryan headed over this way when he came over here. He's like, oh, it's been a rough couple hands.
Ryan's been driving all the action here.
That's true. And then when you're doing that, obviously
You're gonna get
putting
played back
chips
at.
at risk. He did win half of a pretty big pot, so he's probably still up, or maybe even now after that.
He might be actually stuck small.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're gonna lose a $500 pot,
No, he's stuck now.
or you're gonna lose 500 in a pot and be stuck only like 100, that's not too bad. Whee! The chat's going
I love
nuts.
this game.
Yeah.
I love this game.
I don't think
I don't know what that means, but I'm there. Poker boss.
a lot of times, like if you're out of position, do you like go harder like pre because you don't really want to see a flop out of position with that hand, just win the pot right there, like he's 3-betting with ace jack 3 3 from the small blind, right?
I think we can flat. I think that we can play that. We can flat that hand and we play it fine.
Yeah.
3-betting's on the aggressive side, but I mean you can see the way Ryan's playing tonight. I mean he's playing aggressive. Like I said, ace jack deuce deuce is obviously a much better hand to 3-bet bluff with. But I mean we haven't seen what Brandon will and will not call a 3-bet with. You know he's got ace XX. He's willing to just splash in there. But if he's got any other hand, he might just like throw it away.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he had aces with a suited ace and a 6 and an 8. I mean, he had low potential, right? Like,
Yeah.
You don't love the low, but if you're able to get all your chips in pre-flop, I think most PLO8 players are going to do that with
Yes.
that hand. You're getting,
Well,
you're still
with those stack sizes, yeah.
you're still a favorite to.
So putting 100 bigs with that hand is not out of the norm for PLO8.
Matt getting in there with the ace, queen, jack, 10. A high only hand. Ryan says, all right, make it 760,
And Ryan says, let's gamble it up.
75. Ryan won't be pushed around. Poker Ryan, you always like surprises. Matt's gonna call in position. Seems like a reasonable call.
Ace 9,
Seems
6,
like
3.
pretty standard. If you're opening late position and somebody 3-bets you, I think you're gonna call.
And that's not the board that Matt wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, that board sucks. For Matt's hand. Not too bad for Ryan's hand. Matt can't fold fast enough.
Ryan leads out, takes down the pot.
Let's play some cards. Yeah.
Get it going.
I need help from the chat. Everyone needs to like ping Brian Koppelman on Twitter and get him to be on the Poker News podcast. The guy that wrote Rounders, if you don't know by his name. Got to get him to be on the Brian Koppelman. Just tweet at him, tell him to hit me up. I've been trying. It'd be fun.
He's like, hey man, we want to hear you on the show.
Yeah, he plays poker. Like obviously he has poker connection. I think it would be a good time.
It would be reasonable.
Probably wrote the most quoted poker movie of all time, or at least
Absolutely.
one of them.
Absolutely.
Hey, that's not Veronica. You know what? You guessed it.
Ice Dog.
Surprise, we are not
Powers
Veronica.
of perception.
I could put on my Veronica disguise, which is really just like a blonde wig, and it doesn't fool anyone. It doesn't
Just
fool
shove a meatball in
anyone.
your mouth and start like.
It fools absolutely 0 people, 0% of the time,
The
or
foolery
100% of the time.
is not for the win.
What's up with the stats not showing up? I'm not really sure. What are you trying to find out, Rob Malt? Oh, cash win. Is that is the command. This is cool. I don't have a touchscreen laptop, but this laptop is touchscreen, so
So
Kinda
Ryan
fun.
exposed a card. Look, he exposed the deuce of spades.
wait. Oh, so they took it back and they dished him another one?
Possibly out of the 4 spades. I thought it was a 4 spades, but the 2 spades is the one in his hand. So yeah, maybe the 4 spades was exposed and they threw it back.
Is Jake the greatest player of all time at Stone?
Oh wow.
Wow, taking shots. And not the shots that people enjoy
Man.
taking.
Flop is ace 10-7. Ryan flops a nut low draw and a pair of 17. Was the aggressor pre here. Hollywood is going to lead into him on ace king jack 6. Sally says yes with a deuce 4 low draw and backdoor diamonds. Also has backdoor clubs. Ryan, what am I going to do? I got all the chips all the time.
How did he?
Ryan.
Why does he look
Oh.
so dejected?
Oh, Hollywood leads for 5. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Hollywood led for 5.
That's a Hollywood lead. That's what we call it.
And now turns the nut.
And now he's gonna bet 5 again. Watch.
Thank you, Wopry. Forget 8-ball. 8-ball doesn't know what's up.
No, he's not gonna bet 5. Is he gonna bet pot? I don't know. I think it's as close to a tell as maybe you can get. If you bet 5 on the flop, and then you bomb the turn, do you have like a set minimum?
People used to do that online a lot, where they would like, just like click, like lead. They would lead for like 1 big, and then no one would fold to 1 big.
Right.
No one. And then they would just pot the turn.
Yeah. Ryan, I feel like, does he really have? I guess. Whoa. Oh wait, Ryan is a flush. Is that right? On the flop, he has no. It's a ace of diamonds. My bad. I went color crazy there for a minute.
Oh wow, poker boss.
Better than Jake. Yes, in due time. Does that mean he has to like train before he can be better than you?
It would seem so.
Yeah. 8-ball doesn't lie. Where's the montage of Poker Boss becoming better than Jake? What is that montage?
Oh, the 80s montage, movie montage. If there's one thing that the 80s gave us, you know.
Pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. I'm actually more a fan of the jokes that other movies make, like the South Park montage. Like the fact that all those montages exist gave us the ability to joke about it, and
Yeah.
it's even funny. And Drenny, please refrain from harassing the elderly.
One arm Louie.
Wayo, wayo. Is Sally gonna win this? Better not tell you now. One arm Louie.
Rocky 4 montage versus Short Circuit 2.
Oh, Short Circuit 2.
I think so.
Yeah. Like Short Circuit, those are movies that like I don't think a lot of people have watched in a long time. I don't know, man. It's been a bit.
I more recently than anyone, I've told someone that their mother was a snowblower.
I always tell the joke. Whatever God wants, He keeps. The joke is that's like a go-to silly joke.
Queen 10-6, rainbow. Brendan flops a pair of sixes and a backdoor flush draw.
Rocky IV for president. Has there ever been a greater decline between movies from Rocky IV to Rocky V?
I think 4 came, like, 3 was the nut low of the Rockies, though, right? With
What?
Clubber Lang.
Mr. T. 3 was hilarious.
4 was good, though.
I'm saying like 4 or 3 was definitely not the nut low. 5 is the movie that barely should ever exist. Like
Tommy Gunn.
Yeah, that
I
should
don't-
not be. It was Tommy Duke, Tommy the Duke Morrison or whatever, right?
Tommy Morrison.
Yeah, it wasn't. Tommy Gunn is the guy now, right?
Tommy Gunn was a character. It was
Oh,
played by Tommy
okay,
Morrison.
yeah, okay, yeah. That's right. Stay tuned for all your Rocky. Yeah, dude, Grooves knows what's up. 5 was horrible. Rocky 3
4 was good. 4 was really
was
good.
pretty great, man.
Rocky 4 was.
Rocky 3 is all about like hubris. Bro, Rocky 3 actually is the real life thing that happened to Ronda Rousey. The story.
It was like
It is. She was like, if you watch that thing where he's like jump roping and training in front of the crowds before Rousey fought that fight in Australia, she was training on a stage in front of like tons of fans. It was totally Rocky 3 in real life.
And yet, pro fighters just haven't like adjusted or adapted. You just.
Yeah, she just let it go to her head. No, I mean,
AJ Benza was in it.
in what, Rocky 5? Yeah.
We have
may-
deviated from the game.
Yeah, sorry,
Sally
sorry.
limps in the King Queen 10-4. Matt's got Ace Jack 5 deuce, 3 diamonds.
That's what you call a tangent.
Yeah. We turned on a blinker and just kind of went that way with it.
So Sally limped King Queen 10-4.
Downey Poker thinks that it's time for Ryan to change gears. I don't know.
You know what? I mean, if you're comfortable, you're comfortable. I think Ryan, the hand where he called the big bet on the turn with only the nut low draw seemed a bit.
That was a little
Of a
splashy.
fetch,
that,
yeah.
that was a lot splashy.
Yeah. But you know, this is a decent. Yeah. Wow. I don't know. King Queen 6-6. Scott gets up in there with 10-8 3 deuce, the nut low draw. Sally doesn't hate the flop with a flush draw and a gutter to. She probably hates that card though.
Makes Scott a wheel.
Yeah. And Scott just is like, no bigs, $100. Bam. It's been time for him to change gears the whole time, and he still prints for years. Hey, you know what? This is... 5 was garbage. We already people agree with dice. Yeah, wow. So Ryan is now the short stack. He's reached back into his. He really only lost like one huge pot, like one really big pot, right? Like ace jack, 3-3. I get, and he
the
lost
pot
that big chunk when he was chasing the.
Yeah, lost the chunk of nutrition low, lost that big pot against Brendan.
Right, the aces.
The aces hand.
Ace. And he got 3/4 by Scott too, right? That was with the 10 high.
Yeah,
yeah.
that
So
was the big one.
I mean,
Three-quartering-
in his defense, like that wasn't really him needing to change
that was
gears. That was
two-
like a bluff
two-
with the
two hands,
half
yeah.
the pot locked up. So sometimes that.
Yeah, the 10 high hand. Yeah, that was the big one.
But you know what? If Ryan changed gears, then everyone would be limping, and we would still be talking about Rocky.
Ryan ace says 10-7.
We're gonna raise it. It doesn't sound as good as Wreck It, but still.
Ace King 6-3.
Looks
Hollywood,
like-
don't
looks
fold.
Like,
Hollywood.
Looks like a hand that might tempt Hollywood to call. Whoa.
As many hands as Ryan's opening, I'm not folding Ace King 6-3 with a suit.
Yeah, I'd probably peel. I mean, Hollywood doesn't. Like I said, I don't think Hollywood
against
necessarily wants to mix it up too much.
Ryan's opening everything under the sun.
Yeah.
He 3-bet Jack 8-5.
If you reverse that situation, Ryan's 3-betting that hand into.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. I guess if Hollywood's opening, we're just assuming Hollywood has aces at this point because I can't think of a hand that he put that wasn't aces and something.
Or ace deuce 4 3-4. Yeah.
Oh, he had the ace deuce 3-4. Yeah. Okay. So they basically like closely to the nuts hands so far for Hollywood. Just gonna make it hard to make a ton of money, but when you scoop someone or 3/4 them with the,
Yeah.
Actually, he scooped him that hand, didn't he? He had a better 2-pair.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there you go. What do I know? Nothing. I answered the question for you.
Bigger difference is Hollywood is cash positive and Ryan is not. That might be a little results oriented, but in this case, it's true.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a benefit of not playing a ton of pots and not playing really big pots. Is Hollywood's managing his chip stack pretty well.
So I showed up here to commentate the main event with Jonathan Little and Val Cross.
Sick
and
brag.
Jonathan. They're playing the 4-8-0-8, so I just had to sit in for a little while. Though.
Right, yeah, obviously.
And Jonathan Little played 4 hands in like an hour.
Yeah, we actually talked about that. That was fun.
And then he kept talking about it, like, I only play 4 hands. I play like only the nuts. So I'm like, yeah, bro, I noticed. Like,
Yeah.
Not exactly like, I mean, great guy, fun to talk to, but not gonna splash stuff. I mean, you're playing 4-8. I'm playing like you're playing in a 5-10 game.
He's talking to me about how he's putting 50K in buy-ins in like a 5-day period.
And when
something.
Brent's playing a 5-10 no game, they're playing 4-8 limit, and you're not gonna start to like splash
You know
up
what
a little
though?
bit.
Some people just can't lose, or can't play bad. Can't play bad. That's actually we talked a little bit. He said that it's not capable of loosening up in the spot. But I mean, whatever. It's like that's his livelihood, his living.
Sure.
I mean, some people don't care. Some people care more about that than others.
Angry Paul Hogg says,
Yeah.
love Jay Little.
Yeah, Jonathan Little is super nice.
Cool cat.
If you guys ever get the chance, like if you buy him and you're wondering whether or not he wants you to say hi, he probably doesn't want you to like bug him, but I imagine he'd be perfectly happy to shake your hand and say hello.
Absolutely.
I thought he was Canadian because he's so nice.
It would make a lot of sense, right?
I wouldn't have been surprised to find out he was Canadian. He's not Canadian, but still. Creative 2 is going to have Drago in it. Yeah. I mean, is he going to fight Drago? That'd be weird.
Yeah, right.
Michael B. Williams versus
The blonde shell says
Drago.
what, right? Referring to Angry Paul Hogg.
Oh, wow. Canadian, we are nice. Yeah, see? And I don't think, Jonathan Little might be one of the few Americans that Canadians would gladly take credit for. Oh, sure, yeah. Come on in. All right, Glenn's playing a hand. What's Glenn got? He's got the 3 of diamonds, a 4 of hearts, and kings.
Scott makes it 15 to go.
I'm thinking he raised though, so maybe he doesn't have.
Sally calls a button with the ace 10 6-5. She's good suited ace.
You're in position. You can peel flop, I guess.
And Scott's obviously got to raise a hand with the queen 8-3-3. Ace, queen, jack, 2 diamonds. Still can't see Glenn's cards.
Not a great
Sally flops top pair and inside straight draw, backdoor
checks
cards.
around, right?
Does that backdoor 6-5 low? Now we see Glenn's cards. Ace,
Wow.
6-5 deuce double suited.
And he's not a fan of that flop.
Checks through jack on the turn.
So he cannot win. Sally's gonna win another hand. This has been an interesting bunch. I think
It has.
there's been some action. Most of that action has been, instigated by Ryan,
Absolutely.
which is great for the stream. And in this particular case, hasn't worked out so great for Ryan. But
He really had it going early. I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
He didn't buy in that deep, and he was up to, I think, at one point, like 15.
yeah, he won
1,500
half
and
of that
change.
huge three-way pot,
Yeah.
and then just like took a couple shots. And
Yeah, bluffed some people off some hands. And then, I mean, really, it was just 2 hands that went south.
gonna go guess I'm gonna go and dream when Veronica liked me. See you later, Rick. Have a great night. Thanks for hanging out. All right. Have we seen the hand of the night, or sometime within the next 20 minutes are we gonna get?
I think we've seen it.
We've seen it?
I think we've seen it. I
would
don't know if we're
probably
going to top
10
that.
high,
10
10 high is pretty great. 10 high
was
is three
pretty,
quarters.
was pretty big.
It's gonna be hard to beat.
And then even then, the three-way jam up.
Yeah,
that we
also,
saw,
yeah.
between
Brendan,
Ryan,
and Scott.
Scott.
So the 3 most active players: Ryan, Brendan,
And Scott.
Scott.
Yeah.
for sure.
Not surprisingly. Sally makes it 25 to go with the 7-8-6-5.
All right, Sally's stretching her legs a little
A
bit.
little bit.
Getting later in the stream, it's time to explore the space with the hand that you're not. Well, it's hard to be comfortable on a lot of flops with ace 8, 7, 6, 5.
Ace 9 deuce. Glenn flops 3 pair. Got a lot of boat outs.
Yeah, and some backdoor flush outs, I guess.
No low
Brendan
outs,
also has
unfortunately.
2 pair with the potential of random low. I don't think. Obviously, Glenn's probably gonna. Oh, he made it $60.
Good.
Who's gonna call? Is anybody calling?
No.
Is Brendan gonna peel one?
Nope.
I feel like Brendan can peel one. I feel like Brendan is capable of.
Brendan.
I'm not saying that he
Brendan
should.
with 2 pairs probably going to feel here. The problem is, I mean, he's got no low.
Yeah.
Wow, disciplined fold by Brendan.
It's just like, how do you continue when he pots the flop and you call? What turn are you excited about, right?
Yeah.
Another deuce, I guess. Maybe,
Yeah,
but you're not
that's-
even really loving that, are you? I think you'd rather have the ace than the deuce, right?
Yes.
Except you'd have ace deuce, so you'd have the best full house with deuces other than pocket aces. So never
Yeah,
mind.
the deuce is a
maybe-
better card because then, yeah,
Yeah.
we beat 8-7.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess there are some turns you like, but no harm in getting away cheap with 2 pair.
No low draw.
Yeah, I mean, what you need runner to get a backdoor live 7 or whatever.
Yeah. It's got to come just right.
I hope Scott comes back before the stream ends. Maybe we get a little bit more fireworks. The grand finale.
You good. Hollywood's got a double suited aces, double pair, double suited. Ace 6.
You know what? He's gotten aces 3 times tonight, and like once per hour. I mean, not on average. I feel like he's gotten aces 3 times.
We're gonna get him a lot in this game, but yeah, he has. But he's got more. He's more than his fair share. Makes it 40 to go over the straddle. Matt calls with King 8-3 deuce double suited.
Well, Matt's idea is not necessarily the worst if you're thinking about how Hollywood only plays aces.
Ryan figures I'm out of position and I'll figure out where I'm at later. Ace Jack 10-8 makes a call. Ace in the window. Ace King 4 2 spades. Hollywood flops top set and the nut flush draw.
Matt was probably going to continue though with 2-3. Brendan's probably going to continue with 2-3.
And Ryan
And the fact that Ryan
puts it in.
popped it. Wow. This is hand of the night. Wow. Is Brendan, with so many people behind, does Brendan even think about putting any money? He's got a pair.
2 pairs. Yeah, 2
And he's
pairs.
got
King,
and
King
yeah,
4.
he's not folding.
No, he's not.
And
folding.
Hollywood's not folding. Hollywood's tight, but he's never folding in this spot. And then Matt, there might be so much money in the pot by the time it gets to Matt.
It even went half of a 4-way smash up.
Yeah. Because how
The problem is that if Hollywood pots it when it comes back to him,
then Matt can definitely.
Matt can fold.
But if Hollywood just calls, but is Brendan just gonna flat? Does he really want more action? This could easily go Brendan raise, Hollywood raise.
Here it is.
Brendan has no choice but to call because he put so much of his stack in there already. So he bet pot, or he just called. Yeah, they're counting it, so he's betting the pot.
Yes. Which Hollywood will repot, Matt will fold, and Brendan will call off.
150. It's like 300 in the pot, right? 365. So he's gonna make it. He's gonna get almost all with 900, right? He's far enough in where he's never folding to a repop, especially
No,
since
Matt-
he's still going to be live for half.
If Matt had king 3 deuce 5 with like the low wrap,
or if he had like spade draw, maybe he would consider. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I get what you mean. It's gonna be super hard for Matt to continue.
well, Hollywood's gonna just restab it here.
Does Hollywood just flat? Like,
No.
there's not a world where Hollywood just flats, is there?
No, we just stab it. We put in all the monies.
This is like,
And the Academy Award
yeah,
for Best Actor
but this
goes
is a
to
spot
Hollywood.
where everyone else is just like. Do you think he's really considering his next move, or do you think that he is pretending? Because I think he's like so tight that he just doesn't want to put this much money in the pot. I don't think he's doing this because he's trying to get money. Am I being fooled?
No, he's trying to figure out how to put the entire stack with the Pagan Idol.
Oh, right. I like how did he just point? Did he just, like tell people what he has? Like,
All right. And now Matt will fold out.
I don't know. I might flat if I was Hollywood in this spot. Would you ever consider flatting there to try to like bait some other people in there if you want to play like deep pot, or you're already happy? Like, you know, Brendan's never folding. Matt's never gonna call your pot.
Brendan's got backdoor clubs too.
No way. Brendan's never gonna fold.
Yeah, no,
Like,
I'm just looking
he
at
likes his
Brendan's
hand.
outs.
Yeah, backdoor clubs, a 5.
Two pair and the nut low draw.
Yeah. I mean, Ryan's
is-
queen is the only out. Oh, the
There it is.
wheel, but not
Wheel, flush,
and a boat.
boat. Brendan
Hollywood-
makes the boat. Brendan scoop. No,
No, Hollywood aces. So Hollywood's.
aces. Yeah, sorry. Hollywood takes the high.
Oh, he doesn't scoop, but
Brendan
he
takes
gets
the
the
low.
high. Yeah. Oh yeah, what a terrible! You want that 4 on the turn to keep Hollywood live for. So they're just gonna chop up Ryan's money and a little bit of Matt's money.
All that noise for a $142 profit.
Yeah, no kidding. Especially when you look at, like, you're flopping top set with the nut flush draw, you're flopping 2 pair with the nut low draw. I mean, Matt had a king with the nut low draw too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It would have been pretty sick if, like, there was a world where Brendan just, like, flats. And then Hollywood maybe flats, and then Matt maybe flats, and then they go
And then the five
crazy
comes
on the
off.
turn. Yeah. I don't know. It's very easy for, like, seeing how the hand could play out based on the fact that we can see everybody's cards. It's easy for me to think, like, oh, maybe Hollywood should flat there. You know.
Yeah, Matt knew he was possibly drawing to a quarter.
Yeah, I don't even think Matt calls the first raise. But if everybody just calls Ryan's all in, then Matt probably peels like 150 with the nut load.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, for 4
Yes.
to 1, 5 to 1.
Yes.
No. Brendan had a wheel, but
Hollywood immediately.
Hollywood had the nut flush.
Yeah.
So there's a 5 of spades. So Hollywood was never in danger there of losing half the pot as soon as that.
Yeah, Brendan didn't.
Yeah, the only way Hollywood can never lose the pot.
No.
Because the only way he would lose the high is like running kings, but Matt had the other king.
Correct.
And I guess technically...
Running kings, running fours.
Yeah, running kings are 4s. But I mean, that's pretty... it was at least a kind of a wild bit of fun there at the end. That's the one thing... Okay, so that is one thing about PLO8 that might not be super sexy, is that you can have like these huge hands and these huge draws, and then you make like $100.
Yeah. and you smash up all this money he's at risk, you
Right.
could get 3/4 for heaps.
Yeah,
And you
then you
chop
get like,
and
here's
you're like,
$50.
Yeah,
have a quarter.
I risked like 800-900 and I won 100.
Offsuit 5 and non-paired board or spade and high releases. Okay, yeah, you're right. Offsuit 5. Yeah, that's true. Wheel.
Yeah, offsuit 5. That's it.
All right. Well, once the 5 came, once the 5 of spades came, he was going. But yeah, I mean, if you're gonna flop a set, having a nut flush redraw is a pretty good feeling. I don't know, guys. The low gets 1.5. It's not the baby bro of the high. Yeah, I mean, I think Brendan does that because he doesn't hate his high,
No, we
and he has like a low draw.
and you never know. I mean, Hollywood doesn't have to be that strong there. I mean, you never know. With,
Yeah, and Hollywood's not going to continue unless he's exactly
if we
that strong.
If we can fold out spades, you know.
If Hollywood didn't have nut spades and only had a set of aces,
he still smashes.
he
it.
probably, yeah. But I mean, he might be one of the dudes that could potentially fold in that spot. No, I don't
No.
think you fold. You can't fold. You could, if he ever folded, I would just we would never speak.
Matt makes it 100 to go with top set. Ryan comes along with the straight wrap.
Yeah, Ryan's got to feel pretty good without knowing he should feel pretty good, considering he's got the low locked.
All in and call. Chop it up.
Chop it.
Ryan takes a low to 3-4. Ryan was still drawing very live there to the scoop.
Yeah, with,
Deuce or a 7 to scoop.
with half the pot locked up without actually realizing it. Right? If a 4 comes, sells a 3. Hollywood on top. Just barely.
He's won, I think, maybe 3 hands tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, like notable hands.
Right, yeah.
And
Had
but
to
they-
hit
they'd
all of them
been,
with
like, big-
aces or
yeah.
ace 2, 3, 4, right?
And they've all been monsters.
And Matt, who hasn't felt super active with
No,
1600 as well.
Yeah. He's sat there, he's been patient, he's picked his spots well, and has worked up the stack.
I think Sally made a little bit of money too. She played pretty tight, but took a couple pots, like smaller pots. Maybe she's even on the night or something, somewhere in that vicinity. I don't know. It's really this camera angle. This, I think, is the camera that's connected to the wheel. So when they spin the wheel, it shakes.
It shakes.
Just a funny little Stones Live behind the scenes look.
Holly was going to limp in the ace, king, 10 deuce.
Under the gun, that's
Sally, 9
pretty standard. Wow, Matt has one
Matt's
of the
rolled
few,
up.
Yeah. But you,
But he's got a suited ace and it's a wheel card.
yeah. This is a spot where the blocker is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Because you have the second nut low, but you also,
Block ace deuce.
yeah, which is not a bad spot to be in.
Although Hollywood has ace deuce.
True. Exactly. That's a good point. Let's see. Potential hand of the night. I don't know why I'm on this hand of the night kick.
9975 makes a call as
Wow,
well.
4-way action. Whee! And Sally flops a pair of 5s. Sally will not continue. Matt will likely continue. Hollywood will definitely continue. And Scott probably has quad 4s. He's texting his friend right now.
Guys, I
hey,
just flopped quad
I just
4s."
flopped quad 4s. What do I do?
And here we've seen Hollywood do this before. He leads for 5. He's done this before. He's trying to like see the turn.
But Matt's played with him
For
enough. He
cheap.
probably just calls the 5, right? He's never going to raise in that spot. And in fact, he actually wants as many people to call this as possible. If you're in this spot where you're not counting on the turn being like an ace, like you're it obviously isn't going to be an ace, but yeah.
And there's Scott's hand, queen 8-5 deuce.
Ooh, Scott
With
may
hearts. Hollywood's got nut hearts as well.
get some sauciness to him here. Yeah, for $5, Scott's not going to. Now Scott has
Scott improves the top two. He's still behind Matt, aces and fours.
But now the
And
low
Hollywood
is
makes
there.
the nut low.
Yeah.
Matt makes the second nut low.
Does he have the second nut low? Oh, Matt makes the second. I thought Scott's hand is pretty much counterfeited.
Hollywood leads for 80.
Matt says okay.
Scott's drawing to a 5 or an 8.
Yeah, this is like one of the rare instances where the pair of fours, even though it's maybe like potentially scary for Matt, is actually what gives him the best high.
Queen, Scott is still improving his 2 pairs, but he's still behind Matt's aces and fours.
Yeah, wow. So Scott checks. Hollywood's gonna bet his nut low.
Matt will,
How
Matt
big
will
is
flat.
Hollywood gonna make it? $80 into 360.
And Matt's going to be priced in here.
Matt's gonna. Oh, he's not gonna three. Okay,
No.
he needed a deuce. It's 3/4.
No.
They basically want to flat and chop up Scott's money. If Scott could potentially. Scott's laughing, I think, because he knows he's got every pair on the board. And like a no. Wait, he doesn't have below. Yeah, so never mind. Got nothing. Hey, bud. Ryan's visiting us again. There.
Little fun spewing there then.
It got a little splashy, bro. It got a little splashy.
It's all about the misinformation campaign.
Ryan just said he wanted to be invited back, so he didn't want to crush too much, right?
I figured the game needed action, so
Yeah.
you know I brought that at least.
Absolutely. No, you drove it. And earlier you picked off quite a few spots. I mean, the Jack 8, the Jack 8 5 deuce or 4 deuce? Or?
Yeah, when I floated Brent in the beginning,
Floated
the first
Brent,
float. Yeah.
That was nice. That was kind of sick. I don't think I have the stones to do that. That was pretty good. I like it. But we're glad you finally got in the game this time.
Yeah,
right?
no, that was great. It was great.
It's
Even though I showed up a little bit late, it was nice that we were still getting in.
Right on. Plane's going to get play Run at Brino, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I'm going to be 2 days late, but I'll be there just in time for the partners event, and then I'll be there for the rest of the series, and definitely I'm going to be back here for the mixed game in November.
Sweet.
The No Limit Hold'em PLO, and then I'll be here every PLO8.
Right on, bro. I love it.
All right, guys.
Dude, it's good to have you.
I assume I'll see you guys both.
We'll see you in
Reno.
Reno. We'll see you in Reno, bro.
For sure. That's right. I don't know if you guys heard Ryan mention that or if you've seen the schedule. There is a 5-5 Hold'em PLO mix coming up
Yes.
within sometime in the next month or in a month.
Thereabouts, yeah.
Yeah. Also 2040-08 with Bart Hansen in the booth.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I think you're in the booth with Bart Hansen. I'm a little jelly.
I should be
That
looking
game
at
is
this.
2 tables deep, I think. So there's some exciting stuff coming up. 2040 Limit 08.
2040 ought to be a sick game.
Yeah, and it's
That's-
got already
that's-
like 2 full tables apparently. It sounds like it's going to be a blast. I'm jealous that I'm going to be out of the country for that, but still.
That's as big as I've ever played Limit 08 with 2040. I've never played 3060 or higher. But
Yeah.
I played 2040. That's a big game. It's a
I
big
played
game
a
for me.
2040 mix, yeah. And then are they going to do a kill? Because if they do a kill,
It's a monster.
3060, yeah, that's right. I mean, it's going to be a big game, but those guys, a lot of the guys I think that are in on it are like PLO type guys, so it'll probably get a bit huge in terms of pot size. Should be a fun
Brenton
one to watch.
flops a nut low here. Also has a pair of sevens and a backdoor diamond draw. Also would make a bigger straight if a 5 comes off.
My assumption is that if Ryan continues in this hand, he does not win, based on what he said when he stopped by. But let's see. He continues. It wouldn't be have the. Oh, I guess it is hard. He'd have to have an ace, but it wouldn't be that hard for him to have an ace in his hand if he's continuing here.
Eight on the turn. Now we see Ryan's hand. Ryan's
Loves the Jack-8 6-5.
floaty is all hell here. He floated Brendan once, thinks Brendan might have too many folds here. Well, when Brendan leads on ace-7 deuce, I don't think he's going to have many other hands besides ace deuce or 3-4.
Right.
And I just don't think we're going to be able to fold that out on very many turn cards, if any.
Yeah. Little does Ryan know he actually has the high currently, but But I don't think anybody ever calls a bet on the turn in high-low with an 8 thinking, I'm good for the high.
Yeah.
Like, I've got half of this locked up, right? And I don't think, he doesn't have enough, obviously, if he was going to try to bluff. 175, he's only got 360 behind.
What? He calls it with a pair of 8s.
And makes a straight.
And makes a 6-5 for a straight.
And he's going to put the rest of it in, and Brennan's never going to call because he's got the nut low. Brennan's probably thinking, like, really? Although, like I said,
Lock the door.
he was good. He was good. He was good. Ryan, Super 08 fish. Yeah, I mean, that was a interesting spot. Oh, that was our last hand. Well, thanks, Ryan, for a very exciting
Very exciting stream. He
finale
came out
and
firing,
finish.
playing a lot of hands, putting people in some weird spots, playing very aggressive. It worked early on. And then after those 2 hands that didn't go his way, kind of just seemed to like, you know what, let's just set some money on fire.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have to do that.
The smoke alarms went off because, yeah, definitely
It happens.
a lot
It's
of
good.
chips on fire.
What a game.
But you know what? It was a lot more action than I think the last time we did PLO8 together.
A lot more
And the-
aggressive pre-flop play, which leads to bigger pots, bigger bets, you know, on subsequent streets.
For sure.
It's a much better way to play pot limit games.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed being back here.
Guys, thanks for tuning into our stream. We'll be back on Monday with
What's
some
Monday?
5-5. if I'm not
Probably
mistaken.
5-5.
Maybe 1-3. I
Lots
have
of
no
really
idea.
great stuff coming up though. Like I said, 2040 08.
2040, the half-half.
$1,000 buy and sit and go. This is like within the next month or two. Like
Yeah, there's
$1,000
some
buy
really
and sit
good-
and go.
really
2040
interesting stuff on
08
the schedule.
with Bart Hansen. The mix, the PLO. Ryan will be back for that. No Limit Hold'em, Omaha mix.
I'm stoked.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Jake's
going
gonna
here.
try to get into that game. No, I'm just
Right on, guys. All right. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys
peace
on
out,
Monday.
guys. Hearts back at you.